You're watching the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Now it's time for the Brent and Austen Show.
Brent and Austen Show on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. You are looking at the laundry list of injuries for the Jacksonville Jaguars heading in to Week 11, about to host the Los Angeles Chargers at home at Everbank this Sunday at 1. Offensive line very beat up with Hainsey and Harrison and McCarry and Cleveland. Got a couple did not participate yesterday at practice. A couple limited. Jordan Lewis still not participating. Brian Thomas Jr. was able to go, but limited. Brenton Strange, the big one, we'll get to in a second. And then the surprise as well, Parker Washington did not practice yesterday. How much will that impact the Jacksonville Jaguars this Sunday? Welcome in, Brent and Austen Show. Hamby, your only guy right now. We're going to get out to Brent and to Austen momentarily. They are live at the Igloo. Little Jacksonville Icemen action with some screaming kids. That's still ahead, just a couple of minutes. But until then, just me. Appreciate everybody who's going to be hopping in the chat, all of our regulars today, friends of the show. Delphonic, good morning. I'll send you to the guys, like I said, in just a few minutes. But yeah, Parker Washington did not participate. Not great news. Not great news. And then, so that'll be a focus on today's program. And then the news in just the last, I don't know, hour, maybe even 15 minutes, the Jacksonville Jaguars announcing that they have released Colin Saunders. So Colin Saunders, defensive tackle, he has been waived. He's being sent to waivers. And, you know, it was a head scratcher, I think we could all say. I think when we, obviously the story, you play him in the preseason, the next day you trade for him. You're looking for depth. With Mason Smith was a question mark at the beginning of the year. Armstead didn't practice for a lot of camp either. You're looking for a little versatility, a little depth on the interior of the defensive line. You go out and get Colin Saunders, and he doesn't really play. I mean, unfortunately, Jacksonville knows him more for his personality and his Twitter and his cooking video than they do his play on the field. And that's not necessarily because he was, he just wasn't up. He just wasn't active. Just wasn't available. He was a healthy scratch more times than not so far this season. If I'm correct, I believe that he was up for this last game against the Texans. I believe he played 10 or 15 snaps. But this was one of the few games that he played all season. And it was, again, this is kind of a head scratcher. Just, it never really amounted to anything. And so it's not necessarily a surprise that he was cut, because if he's being scratched if he's a healthy scratch, then, there's not a whole lot of contribution there. The head scratching part was why he wasn't given as much of a shot, and I'm not saying that's on the coaching staff. I'm not that normally obviously entails that he wasn't deserving of a shot. That they didn't see him as one of their best 45 on game day. So nonetheless, Delphonic in the chat says, I also saw Luke Fortner was graded by PFF as a top 5 center in week 10. Holy cow, that's insane. That's who we traded for Sanders. Absolutely. Yep. It was Fortner goes to the Saints. Saunders comes back this way. And that tastes great, Delphonic. That tastes amazing. Luke Fortner's over there in New Orleans doing the thing. That's incredible. We might be able to use him at some point in this year, given the injuries, given the struggles of the offensive line in the last month. Who knows? Maybe it's just maybe it's just PFF being PFF. Maybe it's, hey, a change of scenery once again shows in the NFL that can be that can do a whole lot for a guy's career. I have no idea if Luke Fortner is playing any type of good football, but hey, maybe something's going right if PFF's got you as a top 5 center. I think this was an well, for Gladstone. I mean, I'm not going to really put much else into it other than that. You traded a center that nobody in Jacksonville wanted on this team. I don't think there's a single fan in this city that wanted Luke Fortner on this team this calendar season. And I think most people would have, no disrespect, but honestly, I think most people would have been fine with a jugs machine in return for Fortner, and they got a football player that they got, I don't know, total guess, 50 snaps as a defensive tackle this year. So let's see how many snaps Colin Sanders was getting, because before we get to, we're going to get to Brenton Strange here before we get out to the guys at the Igloo. It's just not a guy who was very impactful at all. And let's see, he played 13 snaps, and this was his first time being active, guys, since week 1. He played 12 snaps in week 1, was a healthy scratch all season until last week because Austin Johnson was out. And then he played 13 snaps. So he played 25 snaps for us this year. So I guess we're on paper the losers in this trade if Fortner's doing anything for the Saints, because anything's better than 25 snaps and being told to pack your bags. But there you go. Colin Sanders, release from the Jacksonville Jaguars. One guy who's coming back and hopefully we'll be able to play this Sunday. Hopefully we'll be able to have a lot of snaps this Sunday is Brenton Strange. We're going to hear from him in just a minute. But obviously, all of the press conferences, right, with Cohen and with Trevor yesterday, all talking about how important Strange is to the offense. I'm almost surprised they don't gush about him more. I guess that's because they don't want to make it seem like an excuse, because if they really overplay, holy cow, getting Strange back is huge. It's been terrible for us. They can't really say that part. It's been terrible for us this last month offensively because Strange out, because he's that integral of a piece. Blocking, split zone, pass catcher, security blanket on third down for Trevor Lawrence, staying ahead of the sticks on first down. Doesn't it seem like just in the last month, where have the easy completions on first down been? Well, that's Brenton Strange territory right there. So, looks like he obviously his window is open from the IR, and he's limited in practice. Will he be able to play? We'll see. He talked to the media yesterday.
Yeah, I think it inspires everyone on the team as well. You got a guy out there that's going to try to run through people and try to consistently break tackles. I think that inspires the rest of the offense to do the same.
I know they have to see something out of you this week or as you progress. What do you have to see out of yourself?
I put full trust into them. Obviously I'll know when I'm ready to go, but I put full trust into them. Whatever they say, I got faith in them. I trust in them, and I know that they have a plan for me. So,
has it been a long month and change?
Man, it's been a long month. I love this. This is what I do. I really don't do much outside of this at all. So this is all I know. And not being able to play a sport, I haven't missed many games ever in my career, and it's just been tough mentally. But I'm almost back, and I'm ready to go.
There's a lot of noise outside this building, but there's a lot of important football ahead for this team, right? Everything's still out there, right?
Yeah, for sure. And to me, the noise outside the building never matters. I think it only matters what goes on in this locker room and what our coaches, administration, and staff say. So I think that's the most important thing, is just what goes on in this building and how we're holding up in this building. I don't really care about the outside stuff.
When you're watching some of this go right now, when you watch Parker Washington play, what are you thinking as you're seeing him make plays?
I think that's what he's done his whole entire career. I think that's what he's always showed. I played with Parker we've been here for 3 years now. We played at Penn State for 3 years, so 6 years, Parker's a great player, and he always works hard, and he consistently comes out here and shows it. So I'm just happy he's going to do his thing, because he's more than capable.
Hey, Strange, Quentin Morris here. You got your fellow tight ends that are happy to see you get back rolling. What does that mean to you?
It means everything, man. Those guys, I got unlimited love and support for those guys. I know that they always got my back no matter what, so I got their back whenever they need anything, man. With anything, you know.
Do you feel like this team a little on offense is missing your edge and what you provide?
I wouldn't say that. I mean, I don't think that it's a good thing that I'm out, you know, but I wouldn't say that. I would say that we're a few plays off every single game, you know. We had a big lead last game, won the game before, and, you know, I just think it's a few plays here and there, and those ultimately decide every football game, and you don't know which plays those are. So the ball hasn't ran our way the last couple of weeks, and I think I'm ready to put some of myself into that and be able to be a part of that and get it rolling our way.
All right, that's Brenton Strange talking after practice yesterday. Again, limited in practice yesterday. I appreciated the answer to Brent's question. Do you think that this offense has been missing your edge? I don't think he can just come out and say, yes, they're missing me. Seems pretty egotistical, potentially. But let me answer the question. Absolutely, the Jacksonville Jaguars have missed Brenton Strange's edge on offense, just in the same way, similarly, that they've missed Jordan Lewis's edge on defense just in the last 2 weeks. Vegas and the Texans. Brenton Strange had 20 catches in his first 4 games. Well, he really had 19 because one of those came in the Kansas City Monday night game before he got hurt. But let's just say 20. Guys, he's on pace for over 80 catches this year. Obviously, that's if he plays a full 16, 17 games. He would have had over 800 yards receiving. Ironically, hadn't had a touchdown catch yet this year. But anytime you subtract, and we've talked a lot about on this show, about the blocking, about the edge, the passion, how versatile he is, all that stuff. But just as a pass catcher, anytime you take 80 receptions out of an offense and then throw in the fact, guys, that your number one receiver has a confidence issue or there's something going on and he's not playing up to his best, not even close, then you throw in that the number 2 receiver, who maybe it was your number 1, Travis Hunter, he's now out. This isn't new news. Obviously, we've been trotting out Parker Washington, Trammell, Timothy Jones, Timothy Patrick. Right? You've been throwing, I mean, it's been tough. It's been tough. But you're supplanting 80 reception type guy back into the offense potentially this Sunday, hopefully this Sunday with Strange. If not this Sunday, maybe when the Jaguars go on the road next Sunday to Arizona to play, honestly, a better football team than we maybe thought now that they're trusting Jacoby Brissett as their signal caller. But I think Strange is going to be absolutely huge whenever he comes back. I would say, and I don't have the numbers in front of me, I don't watch the All 22 every single week, but it seemed like to me, watching live once or twice a week, like going back and watching it every week, that the Jaguars' most used run was split zone. Brenton Strange coming across the formation, going right at, this is the play in the Panthers game where he caught a body. What was that, Morig? I believe it was Morig. But they run that play 5-6 times a game. Well, that's 25% of their run scheme, is that one play, whether it's to the left or the right. Single back, Brenton Strange comes across the formation at the snap of the football and blows up the safety that's crashing down or the edge defender that's trying to surf that, or the outside linebacker. Like that was a quarter of their run scheme to me. I don't have the stats, but to me, you weren't going to run that with Hunter Long. Just not going to do it. You're not going to run that with Johnny Munt. Or maybe you did and it just wasn't successful, so you took it out. I haven't seen it near as much. I'll just say that. Near as much. But nonetheless, I think the run game will even be better. Takes a lot more pressure off of your tackles when you're able to run split zone and have Brenton Strange really extend the perimeter of your offensive line in the run game. I think that would be huge, and I can't wait to see him back on the field. 85 needs to be back on the field as soon as possible. Hopefully that's this Sunday at home in Everbank. Guys, it's been forever. Since the Jags played at home. At the end of the day, I'm not going to plead to anybody. It's your money. But it's a 5-4 football team, and they're at home for the first time in like a month. I think that's worthy of seeing. We're going to take a break. Be right back on the Brent and Austin Show. When we come back, we're going to head out to the Igloo. Screaming Kids, Brent Martineau, Austen Lane. A lot more on Brenton Strange, Parker Washington injury, Colin Saunders release. That is coming up on the Brent and Austin Show. Appreciate everybody hanging out. We'll be right back.
When it's time to get a new car for anyone in your family, just remember, nobody but Nimnick, the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Get the latest price breaks on 2023 and 2024 models or the newest 2025 vehicles in the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at nimnickbuickgmc.com 24 hours a day. GMC Sierras, Yukons, and the redesigned Acadias, or get the all-new redesigned line with Buicks. It's nobody but Nimnick, and part of the reason why is this is a first-class buying experience here at Nimnick Buick GMC. You're not just a customer, you're a friend. This is about getting a vehicle that best fits you and getting you on the road, and also helping you and your family down the road. Nimnick has a treating you right guarantee, courtesy, respect, fairness. And most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnick. Who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? Nobody but Nimnick. GMC. We are professional grade.
There's a saying in sports, you can't win them all, but you can win a lot with good folks on your team. Like that one painter, First Coast. It's tough to beat the sun in Florida, so your home fades. It's tough to beat that HOA when they come calling. Beat the sun, beat the HOA with that one painter, First Coast. And it's a good time to do it. Less rain to work around, and painting in mild temperatures is perfect. After all, the paint bonds to the surface so much better. Give that one painter First Coast a call at 904-417-3557 or look them up at first-coast.thatonepainter.com. Fast estimate, guidance on color and HOA requirements, and the highest quality job you'll find anywhere. Be a big winner in your neighborhood with that one painter First Coast on your team.
It's one of the hot spots in the area.
Welcome you to String Sports Brewery out at the beach. Big crowd on hand tonight. The fans are here.
And now, the newest hot spot at the beach is open. String Sports Brewery in Jacks Beach has opened its doors with rave reviews.
We're going to be fans forever.
Cozy up to the bar. Grab a seat in the sports-themed restaurant, or grab a seat outside and feel that breeze coming off the beach as the weather warms. Just like the original location in Springfield, try the popular beer menu and come for lunch or dinner too, because the food is fantastic.
We got a special guest in the house. He's happy. He's feeling good. He's Trayvon Walker.
It's where we hosted Jags Report Live in the football season, and the String Sports Brewery staff can't wait to host you.
Hey, welcome back here to String Sports Brewery. And if you haven't checked out the new location in Jacks Beach, you got to do it.
String Sports Brewery, now with 2 locations in Springfield and now open in Jacks Beach on Penman Road.
Hi, I'm Greg Mackey from Cycles of Jacksonville. Whether you're looking for a side-by-side, ATV, motorcycle, or scooter, Honda has what you need.
The Honda Talon. Ultimate performance meets family-friendly fun. Prices starting at $363 a month. Or the sporty Honda CBR 650 starting at an affordable $204 a month.
Stop by and choose your adventure from a full line of Honda products. Only at Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic Boulevard. Family owned and operated since 1983.
Hello, I'm Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Since 2003, our firm has fought exclusively for the rights of men in family law. Divorce, modification of child support, alimony, custody, and more, all for men. A father is vitally important to a child's life, and being a man is not a reason to pay more in child support or alimony. I'm a single father. I get it. If you have a divorce or other family law issue, contact Kenny Lay and Associates at divorcemenonly.com.
CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing is taking their 75-plus years of expertise and expanding to CGC Home Services. Water treatment and plumbing is still a big part of what they do, and now they can do even more for you. Home services like kitchen and bathroom remodeling, showers, sinks, faucets, toilet repair, backflow testing, and the list keeps going. Find all they can do at cgchomeservices.com or give them a call, 904-298-7052. It's a new look and a new name with the same expertise. They've been serving homes like yours since 1946. CGC Home Services, right here in Jacksonville, off St. John's Bluff Road, 904-298-7052. And visit cgchomeservices.com. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austin Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
What a throw! Touchdown, Jaguars!
We're coming for you.
They're going to get him on the ground, and that's going to end the ball game.
We showed no mercy. Lawrence looking deep in the end zone. Touchdown! Duval!
ETN is going to take it all the way!
Right here on CBS 47.
CBS 47.
Right here. Your official station of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
And the Jaguars strike first.
Go Jags.
You have the opportunity to explore what you might want to do with your life.
There's so many opportunities here that it can spark interest that you didn't even know you had.
If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. When you hear that, you think Bono's Pit Barbecue, a staple in Northeast Florida now for 75 years. A place that feels like home with friendly service, a meeting place for friends, family, or business occasions. On the menu, the corn nuggets are a favorite in our house, but there's something for everyone. Sandwiches, platters, salads, sides, desserts, and family feasts. You see Bono's all over the place in Northeast Florida. You know, there are almost 20 locations in the Jacksonville area now, so stop on by, sit down, and dine in with Bono's. You can also take it to go. There are drive-thrus in many of the locations, and they have delivery options too. Just download the Bono's app to make things easy. I signed up for the loyalty program, and you can too, to get special offers. If Jacksonville is home, few things feel more Jacksonville than Bono's Pit Barbecue. Celebrate 75 years and many more to come. Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
People helping people. It's at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From the start in 1954 to today, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. I had a chance to see that commitment firsthand as Alive partnered with our Action Sports Jax 24/7 team to bring you Armada men's and women's soccer broadcasts. Inside the 18, it is a shot, and it's a goal! Chloe Chivers! And that connection to the community continues with Alive Credit Union's support of the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of all first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
Welcome inside the Armor Guard exterior and gutter helmet showroom. There's a lot going on, like glass exteriors, replacement windows, and down there we have the retractable screens and awnings, plus hurricane protection. Let's talk more about those gutters, and to do that, we bring in Kevin. He's the owner, he's the expert. Why Gutter Helmet?
Well, Gutter Helmet is truly the only maintenance-free product. It lets the trash and debris go on the ground, the water wraps around and goes inside. Unlike filters, they sit on top of the gutters, and the trash and debris build up on top of filters, which requires maintenance. With Gutter Helmet, we're going to keep you off the ladder, the most dangerous thing in your garage. With Gutter Helmet, you'll never clean your gutters again. So get off the ladder and put on the helmet. Gutter Helmet.
Get a free estimate at gutterhelmetofnorthflorida.com. You can also call 904-762-7779 or visit the showroom on St. John's Bluff Road in Jacksonville.
You're watching the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Now it's time for the Brent Austin Show.
3 things I want to tell you about. 3 attractions, if you will, on this Thursday, November 13th. First of all, you're taking a live look at the Jacksonville Fair. I believe today is Open Livestock Show Day. I'm pretty sure. As the Greater Jacksonville Agricultural Fair. I believe that's the official name now. I think we got 3 or 4 days. It ends this weekend. Should be a good time if you're headed out there. I haven't been in a long time. But if you have gone or are planning on going, let me know in the chat. Appreciate that. So welcome you back to the Hamby Show. Soon to come. Just kidding. Brenton Austin Show here on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. We do it every day, 10 to 1. Salt Life 1978 in the chat. Appreciate him. Says, hopefully no more commercials the rest of the day. We got you, dog. We are going to go out very soon to attraction number 2. Actually, that I want to tell you about. It's the Jacksonville Icemen, man. It's a great watch. If you haven't been this year, obviously they started with that long, long road trip to start the season. Now they're back home. We're going to go out there in just a couple minutes. The puck drops any minute now. Britt and Austin are out there, and you're going to see some fancy jerseys. It's going to be a good time. Okay, that's the second attraction I want to tell you about. The third attraction I want to tell you about is down in Orlando, Camping World Stadium, because that obviously the story that, you know, is not the story, but it is the story, is where the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to play in 2027. As we've told you many times, nothing is official until the NFL owners vote on this, and that has been pushed back just a little bit. You're going to think I need 20, I think it's 24 out of 32 NFL owners. So nothing is official, but with the renovations to the Swamp, obviously the 2 options, Orlando, Gainesville, in 2027, that kind of, you know, puts Gainesville out. So the only option left, process of elimination this thing, we're going down to Orlando. And the news out of Orlando is that they, I believe it's their city council, have approved a $400 million renovation to Camping World. Okay, when I first saw this, I'm like, what in the world? Both stadiums, both options undergoing renovations. But rest assured, in Orlando at Camping World, those renovations are expected to be complete before fall of 2027, when hypothetically the Jacksonville Jaguars may need to use that stadium. So it's a $400 million renovation down in Orlando. It's had a couple of renovations, actually. Camping World has in the last decade. I believe there was one in 2014. There was also one in 2021. $60 million improvements in 2021. I was just down there. I think I've told the story many times now for the Pro Bowl last year. And I think it's safe to say, I mean, Delphonic had a nice meme that did very well on Twitter about, Jags fans entering Camping World Stadium for the first time whenever that happens in 2027, hypothetically, again, because it's It's not quite up to the NFL standard, but it's a very good place to play, and it'll be a very good option for the Jacksonville Jaguars. However, I think this is a welcome renovation, $400 million to the stadium. And I'll read it here. It says they're expecting expanded seating, more than 65,000. I don't know what the current capacity is right now, but 65,000 is what it will be expanding to. And what else are you going to get? $400 million renovation is nothing slight. You're going to get a rebuild, of the upper bowl, and new technology as well, more accessible, all that good stuff. So, look, it ought to be fun. It ought to be good. And I think it'll be, again, very welcomed and I think much appreciated when the time comes. As Mr. Pico Boulevard in the chat, he says it's been there since the 1930s. Yes, it's an older stadium, right? That's what I'm saying. All I'm saying is that they're doing a $400 million renovation, and I think Jags fans are going to appreciate that come about 18 months when the Jacksonville Jaguars are, again, hypothetically going down there to play. Then obviously you're there for a couple of home games. That's all it's going to feel like, really. And then you're right back in Jacksonville in 2028, and we get the ball rolling with the Stadium of the Future here in downtown Jacksonville. So that's the second attraction. We started this segment with the first attraction I wanted to tell you about. That was the Greater Jacksonville Fair. Second attraction, Camping World Stadium renovation down there in Orlando. And the third attraction that I want to show you guys right now, Insane Entertainment, just a few steps away, downtown Jacksonville. We go there now to the Igloo Brent and Austen show live, screaming kids everywhere. What's up, fellas?
Hey, what's up? Hamby, nice work. Hopefully you passed the half-hour test. We did not pass the traffic test. Then on top of that, a beautiful rendition of God Bless America. That might have lasted the longest I've ever heard. And also the national anthem as well. So we didn't want to jump into the show with all that going on. And we have some hockey in the morning. The Jacksonville Icemen and the Orlando Solar Bears just underway. And the Icemen looking for their first home win of the year. They were home last weekend but lost both games. And the place is still filling up because outside is an absolute mess.
Yeah.
I think Hamby's been talking about it, so we won't reiterate it, but it was, a Jags Monday night game, a Jags playoff game on steroids, it felt like.
Yeah, it was absolutely chaotic. I was asked to leave the parking garage, and I had to go find my own means of parking, but thankfully we got the job done, and we're here. And obviously, as you're going to hear probably in the background, some ambiance. We have a lot of screaming kids going absolutely crazy with thunder sticks is what you want to see for a hockey environment, but also props to the kids, too, that sing God Bless America and the national anthem. Not only do they sing the national anthem, but they also signed it as well.
Oh, good
every
stuff.
student
cool.
did. Like, I can barely get my son to clean up his room, let alone from teaching him sign language. So these kids are absolutely rock stars, man. Great voices, number one, but also how to sign language. The national anthem is very impressive.
And I was setting some things up. I think I heard they're from Menendez High School.
Okay, Menendez. Yep, I think Keystone Heights did the God Bless America, and then would you say Menendez? Okay,
Menendez,
did the national anthem.
Nice job by both. Yeah, good shout out. And we got some hockey. Hamby, nice work. I don't know, maybe the chat can tell us. How did Hamby do stretching? What did you get to, Hamby, is my question. Like, we had some interviews. We had a little backup plan. We knew we might run into something here.
Yeah.
How did you do?
I thought we did great. We started the show with some breaking news. Colin Saunders released. And Delphonic let everybody know. Holy cow, we got a goal. We got a goal.
Wow. You love to see it.
Get the thunder sticks out.
Didn't waste any time with that one. Oh, it could be a long day for Orlando, Brent. It's gonna be real fun leaving this arena, getting back on 95. Have fun with that to I-4.
I might have to get my glasses on. I don't know if I saw it correctly. It might have been Nathan Dunkley for the Jacksonville Icemen. Yeah, I got to get my jersey. I got it over there. That's like the last part of the setup for me today. But here we go. We got a goal.
Got a goal already, man.
This is how this show works, people.
Yeah.
We got a lot of noise, and we interrupt everything for goals.
Yep. No,
or fights.
as you should. Or fights. Or fights as well. Yes,
yeah.
yes.
So So sorry, Hamby. Carry on. Colin Saunders, by the way. So that didn't. I knew there was a heads up we got, and then I didn't know if they were holding it a little bit longer, but they did waive Colin Saunders, right? That is the news of the day.
Yes. So they did waive him. He'll be sent to waivers. So he spent a good chunk on that and kind of the head-scratching move that is. And, not the biggest deal. It's not a necessarily confusion that he was released because, again, he was only active for two games, and one of those being the last one against the Texans last Sunday, but 9 inactives before that. But it is kind of a head-scratcher of why necessarily he didn't play, which we'll probably never know. But then Luke Fortner apparently was graded as a top 5 center last Sunday for the Saints.
There you go.
PFF, we don't really care. But, hey, Colin Saunders played 25 snaps for the Jags all season. So Fortner's doing better than that. So technically on paper, not that it matters, you lost the trade. Because you didn't really get anything out of it. Then we spent a lot of time talking about Strange and his injury, his return. We heard from him. And then the Parker Washington, I kind of was setting that up a little bit, that he pops up on the injury list report yesterday, did not practice with a hamstring. That really hurts. And we got to Camping World Stadium. I think welcome news for Jacksonville Jaguars fans because a $400 million renovation that will be complete by fall of 2027. Because, look, I'm sure we'll be appreciative of the stadium, given the Jaguars need to have somewhere to go. But the renovations will be welcome. Let's just say that with the current state of the stadium, it's been there for a very long time, since the 1930s. But that's expected to be complete. More seating, new technology, more accessible, all that good stuff. Again, it's expected to be complete by fall of 2027, hypothetically, when the Jaguars would need it.
All right, well, nice work back there, by the way, and a couple of things to hit on. The Saunders deal, it's not like this crazy deal, right? They were probably going to waive for it or they'd make a trade. But to me, I just said it on social media, it feels like Travis Gibson. Yeah. It's like I didn't get it. Like the Jags, they got Travis Gibson, remember last year, and around March, they signed him as a depth pass rush guy. Yep. They never used him because they traded him late in camp to Seattle. Now, he never really played, so it wasn't like this was a bad move, but it was like the whole thing was wacky. It never made sense. Meanwhile, the Jaguars can't rush the passer. They're having troubles in the trenches. They're inside specifically, and Austin Jackson's playing every game, and Colin Saunders, the guy who's played and won Super Bowls, and he can't even get on the field. The whole thing was odd, and of course we were rooting for Saunders to get on the field because he's an unbelievable personality.
Oh, for sure.
But you can't have fun with him if he's not playing. He's inactive. He was not happy being inactive early on. I can give you a story now that it's over. He was not happy in that Cincinnati game when he was inactive.
I think he also put out a tweet.
He did. He later deleted it. Yeah. But I will tell you this. He was the reason I know is he left for the bus before the players were in the locker room.
Sure.
Now, that being said, that was just a moment where he was kind of hot, frustrated that he wasn't playing in that game, wanted to play. Okay, you get that. That's okay. And he wasn't a problem in the locker room. I will tell you that. So I don't want to insinuate that he was. I'm just telling you that's how kind of frustrated he was that he wasn't playing. But then did he never get it on the practice field where they saw enough? Again, they're playing Austin Jackson or whatever. He's not doing anything either, with all due respect to him. So they had an opportunity. Saunders couldn't break down that wall either. It's just one of those weird things. It's it never really helped.
Yeah, and we kind of spoke on this when he was first signed to the team because everybody thought, this is going to replace Eric Armstead. This is going to replace, Jefferson or whoever the case was at the time.
Yeah, Jordan Jefferson.
This guy's going to replace those dudes. And that was never the case. To me, Colin Saunders was a nose tackle. He was there, I felt to maybe push Devon Hamilton a little bit, or at least challenge Devon Hamilton for those starting reps. Obviously, say what you want about this defensive line, but in terms of stopping the run, Devon Hamilton's did a pretty good job of doing that. Now, obviously, when it comes to rushing the passer, that's another story, but for what they're asking Devon Hamilton to do, I get there's not a lot to like in this defensive line right now, but I think he's at least doing that part and stopping the run. You just never got to see what Colin Saunders was capable of, but I think people had unrealistic expectations of what they were expecting from him. He wasn't going to get you 5 sacks a season, and this guy probably played his best football being a 2-gapper when he was in Kansas City, which he wasn't going to do in Jacksonville. So, to me, it was literally, you had a guy in Luke Fortner that you were trying to get off the books. You bring in Colin Saunders to maybe, improve depth a little bit, maybe push some people. He doesn't push anybody, and it is what it is.
Yeah, great sideline interview in the preseason.
Oh, it was fantastic.
It was tremendous.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we got that.
Year.
Yeah, absolutely.
And shout out to Luke Fortner now for getting the Caleb Chase on Jaguars ex-player of the week. By the sounds of it,
it's unbelievable.
Tyson Campbell stopped for that crown as well. We'll see.
He had the pick six.
I know. Yep.
And forget that. I'm not getting into that.
To be fair, though, man, that pick six was. Come on, it wasn't due to. Yeah, I know. But come on.
I would say this. I'm genuinely interested in this part of that dynamic. Yeah. I know everybody will be like, well, it's the Jags, and the Jags are cursed, and all this stuff. I think we can all agree on this one thing, right? We can agree that you would rather have Josh Hines-Allen instead of Caleb Chase on.
Yep.
I think everybody across the National Football League would agree.
Without a doubt.
So the question is, why does Josh Allen have 2 sacks? Mm-hmm. And Caleb Chase on has 6.5?
Sure.
Is that just a better defense? Is he fit better? Is that a scheme fit? Did something click in Chase on? Why? We think Campanelli's done a good job. We know Josh is a good player. Mm-hmm. Is he just getting that much attention? Is it just one of those years where it's not falling for him? It's falling for Chase on. I haven't watched Chase on play, so I don't know. But the curiosity there is interesting, to say the least, how a guy that really couldn't get a sack in his career,
sure,
all of a sudden had a pretty decent year with the Raiders, and now looks like he's gradually getting better and better. And Mike Vrabel and company are getting the best out of him. I don't know the answer why, and I'm not sitting here trying to tell you that they should have Caleb Chase on over Josh Hines-Allen. We know that's not the case.
Yeah.
So I think we can all agree from the same center point here of saying, okay, why is that then?
Yeah. Every situation's different, and I've spoken on this before a little bit. When it comes to being an edge rusher and when we put the premium on quarterback sacks, I think sometimes it takes guys to figure it out a little longer than other guys. It wasn't until I got to Chicago where the light bulb finally went off and says, oh, okay, this is how you get after the quarterback. This is how you implement your pass rush moves. Well, but by that point, I had John Fox telling me, hey, you're a little too old in this league and we're going to let you go. By the time I figured it out, it was too late. I think Caleb Chase just needed some time because, listen, and I spoke of this when we first drafted him. He had the first step. He had the athleticism. The biggest question mark was, can he refine his skill set? Can he refine his pass rushing technique and really dial that in and be productive? And he obviously couldn't do that here in Jacksonville, but for whatever reason now it seems like the light bulb has gone off for him in New England. And, maybe that's some of Vrabel, maybe that's some of the defensive scheme, maybe that's some of the guys that he's playing with, whatever the case may be, but he has found something there now in New England. I think just, Brent, there's a couple positions where if you're drafted at a certain spot, depending on coaches, depending on scheme philosophy, maybe you're not set up for success. You get a new change of scenery, and it makes sense, and it clicks.
Yeah, and he's 26 years old, just looking that up. He was a talented player, but it wasn't like he was like an all-world player at LSU. Yeah. And so he had 9.5 career sacks, same as Trayvon Walker, by the way. Yeah. So maybe it takes a little bit to find it. Yeah. And so here's the point of the story. There's 2 things for me that stick out.
Yeah.
We talk about, and I do a lot, talk about and defend Trevor Lawrence. He's had a lot of change in his career. And we asked him a little bit about it yesterday and ETN, and they didn't admit it. To their credit, they didn't give that as an excuse. But I do think it's somewhat of a built-in reality, is that when you have 4 play callers in 5 years and 3 coaches in 5 years, you're being asked to do different things and all this. This will lead to our Trevor conversation in a bit about just letting it rip. But I guess you also have to be fair on the defensive side. The defensive side of the ball, you're going through different head coaches and different coordinators. 3 coordinators now in 3 years. If we're going to say, well, maybe that's why the offense is a bit clunky, even though we know that it's more complicated, is that a little bit of the reason why maybe this defense at times is now over a 9-game span struggling more than they did in the first few games where, boom, they jumped out to a great start.
Yeah.
But now as this thing settles down, they're still trying to find their space in what Campanelli wants to do. They're still trying to get maybe their body weight to where it used to be because of that whole thing and learning to play with it again. Are there some of those excuses built in on the defensive side where we don't usually attribute that, but this core group of players has had 3 different voices in 3 years, 3 different schemes, 3 different principles, 3 different rules, 3 different everythings in 3 years on the defensive side of the ball. Is that a valid excuse at why this defense has kind of, it plateaued, it's even regressed now?
Yeah. Listen, it has something to do with it, but I don't want to give so much credit to that. There's another goal. Oh, let's go. No one said it had to be close. No one said it had to be close. Brett, I mean, at this rate, it may be me and you out there in the third period. Bring in the reserves. We have the jerseys.
I was already invited to the sin bin.
We have the jerseys.
We do have the jerseys. They are wearing our jerseys.
Just get us out there in that third period, Brent.
All right, who was it? I want to give him a shout.
Let's bring it home.
Let's see the goal on the replay. Is that a rebounder? Or did the slap shot?
No, that's slap shot.
Slap shot went in. All right, there we go.
Whew.
John Spetz.
Shout out to the Solar Bears goalie here, who we got in goal. The net right now is that John Gillis. John Gillis with the reflexes of sloth with that reaction. That thing came from half court. Oh, I'm sorry. Are we the Solar Bears Network now, Brett? Okay, let's say that. Okay, then. I think we're okay.
He might be here in a year. Who knows? But John Spetz.
There you go.
Defenseman with a goal.
Yeah, well, nicely done, man. Nicely done. But, getting back to the point of, the different coordinators. Yeah, listen, that's going to be a change, right? I mean, I played for a lot of defensive coordinators in my time as well. But I don't want to compare it to an offense, though. Right, like at the end of the day, when it comes to defense, okay, what are you running? You're running a 4-3, you're running a 3-4. Okay, we're gonna blitz, we're gonna play more base coverage. Okay, we go in zone, man. Like there's wrinkles, but it's not even close to the wrinkles that you can have in offense, right? So I understand having 3 defensive coordinators in 3 years. Yeah, it could make a difference, Brent. But at the end of the day, like the players start to make the plays. And listen to me sound a little more like you now in terms of holding the players accountable.
Yeah, well, I do think in this whole grand scheme of the defense, I don't think people, I said this earlier this week, are being overly critical of Campanile right now. I think it's because at the same time, when you have 3 years of this and you have good and bad, there's a mixture. Really, last year was all bad. But you have this mixture. It's like, okay, well, it's got to come down to the players if you have 3 years of it. And most of the players are the same, or a lot of the players are the same. Yeah. So, I mean, it is a players' league. I mean, they've got to find a way. Now, there are other things going on, and, I mean, they are throwing the ball quick. The thing that you're getting inside the building is like, hey, it's not that you can see some of the metrics out there. You can see all this stuff. Depends how you want to defend the defense and the pass rush, the Josh Hines Allens of the world and everyone else. But the reality is the ball's coming out really quick. And the quick game is there, but also like this intermediate quick game. They're not just sitting back in the pocket. And I think that's a respect to Josh and Trayvon and even Eric Armstead, who actually is playing seemingly pretty well, at least statistically. But the whole thing just isn't working. Is that more on the back end right now? Because my question is simply this, Austin. Why didn't the Jags just play quick game nonstop last week then? Because
that's the argument,
pass,
right?
Like, why wouldn't everybody play quick game if it just neutralizes the pass rush?
Yeah.
But they're doing it against the Jags, and it's neutralizing their pass rush.
They're doing it against the Jags, but I mean, like, and listen, I'm not sure the percentages and everything of how much quick game it is, how much like time is it actually a drop back, how much time Davis Mills runs for a 15-yard touchdown, whatever that was. Like, I think it's all around the league, right? But at the end of the day, like, okay, you want to say the quick game? Well, then let's focus on getting our hands up. The Houston Texans did that. How many block balls did the Texans have? Okay, so then that's how you counter that. Texans did a great job of doing that. How many knock balls do the Jaguars have this year?
I know one big one.
Yeah, one huge one, but
not a lot.
I can't say a lot either. Yeah, so then if that's going to be the excuse, and that's okay, well, they're getting the ball fast. All right, then. Well, then Eric Armstead's tall enough, isn't he? So if that's the case, then let's get our hands up and try to deflect some of those balls. So I'm not going to use that as the excuse. And also when it comes to the defense, like, listen, I understand there's scheme changes, right? And maybe this defense right now is still trying to figure out where they fit in and everything. Obviously, in terms of their secondary, they have some injuries, right? They probably have some guys maybe playing a little opposition. We talk about Dewey all the time, where you want to see him more in the box than you do playing center field, but they really don't have a choice right now. So I understand all that. But my philosophy is, despite the scheme, despite what you're running, pass rushers can get home, right? And it's not like we're talking about, okay, now Josh Hines Allen, put on some weight this year with Ryan Nielsen. Like, there's really no excuses. Okay, like Trayvon Walker's got his club. Okay, I mean, at some point, when do we stop using that as an excuse and say, hey, man, you might have to get home a little more? Yeah. So, like, you can take great edge rushers, Brent, and you can put them in any kind of defense, and as long as they're not dropping back on every single play, as long as you're not asking them to go down, play a 3 technique or play a linebacker, they should be able to get home.
Yeah, and the other side, I mean, obviously you got to have stickier coverage. The reason, here's what I would say. It's like, well, yeah, Brent, you can do quick game if you're Jags, but they've also got Stingley and Lassiter and other guys all over Austin Trammell and other folks, with all due respect. Like, Delphonic says right now, D'Amico said their game plan was to stack the box, stop the run, force Trevor to beat them. I saw that too. He said, make the quarterback beat you. Well, of course. First of all, I think that's a little bit of a thing right now with Trevor's inconsistencies. They want to see if he's going to beat you, but they also could easily say that because they got a hell of a cool secondary that's matched up against guys without Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter. Like, what are they afraid of back there? Nobody's afraid of a lot with the Jags. All due respect to Parker Washington, but they're not super afraid of anything in the passing game.
No, without a doubt. But, I mean, keep in mind, the entire year, though, Brent, how many teams have been afraid of the deep ball from the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Not enough.
Whether Travis Hunter's been in, whether Brian Thomas Jr. It seems like the deep ball's in play when the game is like directly on the line. But how many times have we seen the Jacksonville Jaguars take deep shots just to keep a defense on their heels? Not too many. So, I mean, I agree with D'Amico Ryans. And listen, it's not some big trade secret. If you're playing the Jacksonville Jaguars, you take the short game away, you take the run game away, and until they can, throw the long ball, I'm not worried about it. Simple as that.
And that leads us into really the big talker yesterday coming out of Liam Cohen. And it's the second time I've heard this in Trevor Lawrence's career, at least. And these are two poignant moments, in my opinion, when the coach says this. Let it rip. Just go play. And this goes back to guys where I've defended Trevor a lot because, again, just take your line of work, take our line of work. Hey, Brent, let's do a show. A consultant comes in, says, Brent, do a show this way. And then a consultant comes in 6 months later, a new one says, hey, Brent, do a show this way. Guard against this, but do this. And be aggressive here, but not here. Well, Trevor's had 4 different guys telling him that in 5 years. I think naturally you're going to get some resistance in your own mind to what you actually can do. Like, what are your rules? And he's learning this new one and Liam Cohen and this staff right now. Well, it's pretty obvious to me that he is trying to, and then this is not a yesterday topic or a last week topic. It goes back all the way to Seattle when he took 7 sacks under a lot of pressure. We got another one? Another one! Oh, it's 3-1. I didn't even know Orlando scored.
It was very quiet when Orlando scored, I guess.
We got fireworks here at the Icemen game here this morning. Wake up with the Icemen at Action Sports Jax.
Hey, Orlando, let's go to that bullpen, huh?
3-1, 9:51 to go in the first.
Who do we got here? Wow. 23, Brent. Man,
was that a rebound?
They're loving that left corner right now.
They are right there. A little deflection. Did we get a deflection? Oh, no, that just went in.
It's that left corner again. Goalie. Brent, this I don't want to say anything, but his left corner is exposed like you wouldn't believe.
Absolutely.
About that time to go to the bullpen, huh? Orlando?
So the let it rip stuff to me is easier said than done is what I'm getting at. The other time that Trevor said this was when he threw the 2 picks against Houston and Denver, the last one coming against Denver in 2022 against in London. Yeah. And he said he basically had a conversation with himself on the flight home. Yeah. And he was like, man, just go play. Screw this. Just go play. And that's what he said. And guess what? He went and played. And we're kind of waiting for that again. And I thought there were a couple instances this year where maybe you get that. Maybe this is the next instance where he's just going to go play. Yeah. Now, the danger in that is you've heard, don't turn the ball over, don't turn the ball over. He even said it yesterday to us. He's like, I was turning the ball over early in the season, so I want to not do that. Well, we think Trevor's taken more sacks than he's ever taken because he's a little bit gun-shy to pull the trigger and maybe throw into danger. And by the way, when he was taking sacks, he wasn't turning it over. He had like 1 turnover in a 4-game stretch. Yeah. So, like, it's really, what do you want? What do you want? Do you want to just let your guy rip it and see what happens because he can make all the throws and everything else and play fearless? Or you say, hey, 1 turnover in 4 games gives you a real chance to win. Eat a sack, it's better than a turnover and losing points or giving the ball to the other team. Like, that's the conundrum. And also now you have to do this currently, we'll see what happens this week, without Brian Thomas Jr., without Travis Hunter, without Brenton Strange. So the guy you really trust right now is Parker Washington. Yeah. You basically got one. By the way, he was hurt yesterday. We'll see if he plays Sunday. Are you kidding me?
This is going to stop. Pull him right now.
What's the record for first period goals?
Give him the hook.
What in the world?
Get that guy a coffee.
I mean,
he's coming out right now. I think he's coming out.
I mean, I've never seen a performance like this since Hamby's first week in the booth. You got to get him out of there. Cam! I'm just kidding, Hamby.
No, you're not.
I'm not. I mean, hey,
He might be.
Oh, yeah. Brent, you can't give up 4 goals in, 7 minutes? Come on now.
That's insane.
Wow.
Who scored?
Wow, top shelf.
Top shelf. I mean, yeah. I feel like at some point, Brent, you're going to have these kids come back for every single game if they're going to play like this.
Yeah. They're still coming in.
Oh, yeah.
You missed, by the way, all these kids are still stuck out there and people coming in.
I know.
Like, 4-1 is the scoreboard, right? Yeah, man, 8:26 to go in the first. Crazy
Looks
game
like that
here.
was Brown.
So, was that Brown? What did you say?
Looks like that was C. Brown. Had
Chris
4
Brown.
different
That's
goal
Chris Brown, I think,
scorers.
one of the captains, yeah. How about that? What are you watching this? How do you know who it was?
They updated immediately on the website.
There you go.
Oh, you love to see it.
How about that? Anyway, 4-1 here. This is awesome. What a start for the kids. At least I think last year was kind of a low-scoring game that we were at.
It was a little bit of a low-scoring game. I think we might have had a fight, though.
We did have a fight. We were surprised to see the fight.
Yep. Had a fight, and I remember a lot of Chapel Roan was being played, too, as well, Brent. The kids were going crazy for Chapel Roan.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Pink Pony Club. Shout out to Chapel Roan.
So, okay, all this, I forget where we left off. But all of that in between 2 goals should let Trevor just let it rip. Yeah. Because if he starts just letting it rip and he throws it to the other team, now what?
Well, yeah, but see, once again, Brent, at some point, you got to stop thinking like that.
Yeah.
And I think at some point, you have to stop protecting your quarterback so much and say, okay, don't turn the ball. I feel like the great quarterbacks, I feel like the quarterbacks in the top 8, the top 5 conversation, you can go out there and tell them, hey, man, let it rip, make some plays happen, and let's win this game. Right now, we've been clamoring for, hey, more running, because that's what they do well right now. But at some point, if you're trying to go to the playoffs, and I understand you've lost some weapons. You've lost Travis Hunter. You've had Brenton Strange down for a while. But at some point, and everyone sees it, regardless if you're on Team Trevor or not on Team Trevor, he has played a little reserved.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
no doubt.
And if you can't agree on that, then I don't know what to tell you.
With a little doubt.
You're not watching football.
Because what do we say? What does he trust?
Yeah.
I say that a lot. What does he trust?
Yeah,
Now,
exactly.
he's going to say, I trust everything.
Yeah,
he's going to say, no scar tissue. He's an athlete. You would say that, too. But I think there's human nature that settles in that, wait a minute, the offensive line, a lot of pressures. Wait a minute, drops. Wait a minute, who the hell is Jacoby Myers?
Yeah.
Austin Trammell? What do you trust other than handing the ball to Travis Etienne?
Yeah.
And do you even trust yourself?
Yeah, I mean, listen, if I was thrown to those guys, I'd probably have a hard time trusting people as well. But what it comes down to now, Brent, is if they want to make that run, I get it. You have Travis Etienne, but teams are hip now, and they're going to try to stop that run game, so it's going to be on Trevor's arm. And this is Liam Cohen come out and said, hey, we're still in the playoff picture. I get the Houston game was atrocious. We still have the capabilities to make that playoff run. If we want to, Trevor's got to turn it loose.
Yeah, I think here's the other part of this. He likes to do that. They had to rein him in his rookie year because he was throwing it down the field so much that he was turning the football over.
Yeah.
So, this is going to be really interesting to see how he responds to all of it. I love this parallel. Coming in when I was sitting in traffic, I saw Dan Orlovsky say this about Jordan Love. And I couldn't help but think how relatable it is in some respects to what Liam Cohen just said in Trevor Lawrence. And we've had this Jordan Love, Trevor Lawrence conversation a little bit this week. Not apples to apples.
Not even close, I think.
But listen to what Orlovsky says about the way sometimes Love is playing, and I think he could apply the same thing to Trevor Lawrence.
One, this is what happens when people say, quarterback, protect the football. I'm not paying you $55 million to protect the ball. You pay players like me to protect the football. And that's not being joking, legit. I'm paying Jordan Love to be great. And it's way too cautious. In the narrative around Jordan Love, this is what has bothered me so much about the season and coming off of last week. Jordan Love's a walking turnover. That's factually incorrect. Jordan Love's reckless with the football. That's factually incorrect. If you look at over the course of the last season of starts, because last year he missed some time. This year we're not all the way through. Look at where he is when it comes to giving the ball away. Jalen right now is historically good with it, throwing the football to the other team. Stafford's in the conversation for MVP of the league, and then Lamar's Lamar. Jordan Love's third when it comes to throwing interceptions as far as how much we throw the football. So, everyone talks about Jordan Love as this walking, oh my gosh, he's not. I would argue he's too cautious with the football. I would argue because of the offensive line and because of this, we got a great defense, don't throw the ball to the other team, he's not cutting it loose. If I was Matt LaFleur, I would sit there and say, Jordan, start throwing the ball downfield. If you throw an interception, it's on me. If you throw an interception, we traded 7,000 picks for Micah Parsons. We paid him $1 billion. And I would agree, Monday night, there's people open. But for some reason, he won't throw the football because everybody talks about Jordan Love being the reason why the Packers aren't going to win games because if he gives the ball away, it's the worst thing. No, it's not. Everyone has to get rid of these turnovers with quarterbacks. When do you turn it over, and what happens with that actual turnover?
I know you couldn't hear all of it, but you heard some of it, and I think it was the main gist of it, right? It's like the same deal. Like, let it rip, dude. Like, just throw the ball. He sees that Jordan Love is kind of hesitant because you've got such a good defense, everything else. You don't want to lose the football game. Go win the football game. And I thought what he said right at the start was really interesting, right? And this goes along with what you guys all will say, and here's where I would agree with you. You want to always say, hey, you're this generational talent, $55 million deal. You know me. I'm like, okay, can we put that aside for now and just talk about right now? But if that is what your investment is, if that's the kind of player you are, like Jordan Love, like Trevor Lawrence, then you can't be like what Dan Orlovsky said and be Dan Orlovsky and just sit back there and don't make mistakes and just make sure everything works. You got to go win games. Kind of like to your point on Monday morning. It's like, hey, you need your top players to go make plays, deliver, elevate. Josh Hines-Allen, Brian Thomas Jr., Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne. Those are the guys that got to elevate the team. Not Austin Trammell, not Jarian Jones. It's great when they chip in, but that's not who you are relying on to win you football games and make plays at critical moments. So to that point, I think I love what Orlovsky said. I think I can come with everybody here that's been saying, like, all right, man, listen, he either can do it or not. I think you said this, I think on Monday. You're like, listen, we know he's going to be around for a couple of years. Of course. This is not like, I know you want to and everybody wants to know who Trevor is right now and by the end of this season. The reality is it almost doesn't matter if we know because you got 2 more years to figure it out too. You'd love to know, but so for the next whatever, you've got to figure it out in that time frame and know what it is. And so to do that, just go play ball and zip it around. Now, I don't think you throw it 50 times a game, but you can take those shots to De'Ami Brown down the middle of the field, even if someone might catch up to De'Ami Brown and pick it off at the goal line.
Listen, I understand that we're going to have this experience now for the next couple of years. I mean, and that's what you get for making him your franchise quarterback, right? Yeah. And that's what it is. But I agree with you, Brent, but I think Liam Cohen wants to know a little more this year as well. Like, we can sit here and say, okay, is Trevor the guy or not? It's supposed to be this season. And maybe we won't find that out. Maybe injuries have something to do with it. You know, I mean, we can make up a lot of excuses. But guess what? The head coach who's calling the plays, who's responsible for the quarterback's performance, I think he wants to know more than anybody.
That's a good point.
Right? So if that's what we're talking about, like forget what I think about it. Forget what everybody on Twitter who's on one side or the other thinks about it. What does Liam Cohen think about it? And I think right now if I'm Liam Cohen, I'm watching, okay, how it's all transpired so far. I don't think I'm the most poised, I'm the most excited right now of what I've seen. Now, once again, you can make up, you can have tons of things you can point to and say why it's not going well. But I'm just saying, just from the quarterback, what he's looked like right now, if I'm Liam Cohen, I think I want to see more. So that's where I think this whole narrative of, hey, get out there and just, let it rip. Obviously let it rip, but don't make mistakes, and that's kind of the double-edged sword and everything. But that's where Liam Cohen's at. Like, Liam Cohen's like me, Brent. He's like you. He wants to see. Like, we always praise Liam Cohen for being kind of, in sync with the fan base and saying what we all think. I think we're on the same page here. Whether you like Trevor Lawrence, whether you don't think he's the guy right now, I think we can all agree Liam Cohen wants to see more.
I would agree with that. I would also say this. I don't think when I'm talking about the number 1 defense in the NFL last week and when you're off to a good start, I don't think I want Aaron Rodgers taking big risks. I don't want any of the quarterbacks taking big risks. That's a bona fide good defense that you don't need to make mistakes that you don't need to make. And so you got to protect yourself from yourself sometimes. Coach does, you do. So I do think there are times in a ball game where you have to know. And isn't that one of our biggest fears with Trevor? A lot of people are concerned with his situational awareness. So when is the time to pull the trigger and let it go? And when is the time to be like, all right, dude, here's where you can't make a mistake?
Yeah, man, but at the end of the day, you can't afford to think like that because if this is the playoffs in the first round and maybe you're playing the Patriots or somebody and you're down by 10 at Foxborough, Are we going to sit here and say, okay, well, they got some pretty good corners. You know what, let's just maybe take the ball out of Trevor's hands and keep – no.
Down by 10 is different than up by 10.
Okay, well, nevertheless, even if you're up by 10, like, are you playing to win or are you playing not to lose?
Well, I think there's a balance sometimes.
I don't think there's a balance when you have a franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
I think when you have a franchise quarterback, you tell your quarterback to go out there and say, you know what, go finish this game and let's go win it. Like, that's what we're paying you for. That's what the money says. We have supreme confidence in you. And I get it. James Gladstone didn't give Trevor this money. Liam Cohen didn't give Trevor the money. And once again, I don't care how much money he's making. I don't care if it's with Tua, if it's with Jared Goff, Patrick Mahomes. The point is that the majority of the money that your team is bringing in is going to Trevor Lawrence because the team thinks that he can will them to wins. So if that's the conversation that we're having, then no, I'm not going to put a governor on him and try to limit him and say, all right, well, you've done your part. Now let's just play not to lose. No, man, go play to win. Go finish the game.
I'll give you one scenario before we hit a break. Would you rather this Sunday Trevor Lawrence throw for 285 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions? 285 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Okay.
Or 220 yards, 1 touchdown, and no picks.
I mean, I would probably take the latter, but that means that they're scoring points, so the run game is probably, working. Like, I mean, as long as you're winning the football game and you're getting your yards, and I assume your quarterback percentage is pretty well, I'm for that.
Yeah.
Because, like, listen, Trevor.
Well, they might need 30-something points though to beat the Chargers this week. Is my point.
Trevor can go out there and sling it, get it down to the 5-yard line, and give it to ETN, and we're all good.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah.
if you're putting up points, you're putting up points. I just don't.
But the game's not in his hands at 220 yards. Is my point. At 285, it's probably in his hands.
I think at 220, like I'm happy with that. I really am. Like I get that extra 60 yards can make a difference, but once again, there's a lot that goes into the game. If he's throwing for 220 yards and they're putting up 30 points, I think a lot of the reason why they have success is with his arm.
Yeah. And maybe that's not the greatest example, but my point is like a very little mistake game with manageable kind of almost game manager stats with a running game.
Yeah.
Or like Herbert's going to throw for 285, probably 3 touchdowns in this game, run for 35 more.
Of course.
But the question is, will he have the 2 picks that maybe cost him the game because the ball's in his hands the whole time?
Yeah.
Like that to me is that where you want your quarterback to be? And I think what Liam's saying is, that's fine. Like that's fine. It's in your hands. Let's go. You're one of our best players. So we got to act like it.
And I think Liam Cohen knows what everybody else knows is that the Chargers are going to try to stop the run.
Like, absolutely.
They're going to try to shut down ETN. So we consider and say, okay, if Trevor throws for 200 yards and maybe 1 or 0 touchdowns, like, all right, well, if you want to put up 30 points, that means that ETN was cooking, and it's going to be hard, I think, against this Chargers defense. So to me, this is more of Liam Cohen understanding the task at hand against this Jim Harbaugh team, thinking, okay, they're going to stop the run, so it's going to have to be on Trevor's arm to try to win this game.
All right, let's go. It's been pretty interesting to see. Hey, Parker Washington, I want to get into that a little bit because how concerned are you? All of a sudden, now he emerges as your best player, along with Travis Etienne, and guy making plays. You're asking people to make plays. He does it, and now he misses practice all of a sudden. Mm-hmm. Like out of nowhere. He didn't come up gimpy in that game, I don't think, unless I missed that. So we'll see. We'll see where this trends. Hamstrings aren't good. And you have no idea what's the severity of it, but he held out of practice yesterday. Brian Thomas Jr. was back. That's good, but you want them both back. And you need a little bit more on the reinforcement level, especially if you want to put the ball in Trevor's hands. Well, the Icemen, 4-1 lead with a minute to go in the first period. We'll hit the first intermission. The kids are rocking. Five-Star Veterans Memorial Arena rocking and rolling. The Icemen rocking and rolling. And so are we here finally. An hour in on the Brent and Austin Show on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 Network.
Choose your own adventure. It's not just a saying, but a way of life here at Cycles of Jacksonville. And whether it's 2 wheels or 4 wheels, at Cycles of Jacksonville, a great adventure awaits. With brands like Honda, Vespa, Segway, and Triumph, Cycles of Jacksonville has you covered with their inventory featuring a 60,000 square foot building. If 4 wheels is more your thing, check out the largest selection of Honda Talons in the entire county. No matter what you're looking for, Cycles of Jacksonville is going to have the selection you need, all with great financing and rebates. Plus, if you're active duty military, Cycles of Jacksonville will offer you 0% financing along with great discounts for military and first responders. And when you want to get off the road and set sail, Cycles of Jacksonville has you covered with everything you need to get on the water. So if you're ready for a great adventure, let Cycles of Jacksonville be your guide. located off Atlantic Boulevard, or check out their website at cyclesofjacksonville.com.
How do we make Mason's famous lobster rolls? It's simple. We get up before dawn, head into the open waters of Maine, haul in our traps by hand, and send only the best straight to our restaurants, where we add warm butter or chilled mayo with a squeeze of lemon and pile it on a toasted split-top roll, just like it's been done for nearly a century. That's the recipe for Mason's famous lobster rolls.
Thanks for meeting me here.
You okay?
You're my only lawyer friend, and I need your professional opinion.
Okay.
You see that brand new Hyundai Tucson out there?
Yeah.
That's all I paid for it. Do you know what you want?
Yeah. I think I do.
Enjoy your new car.
Thanks, bye-bye.
Deal so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Lease a Hyundai Tucson for $259 a month, or get 2.99% APR, or get $1,750 bonus cash. Hurry in.
Grab some friends and go to a restaurant, or head out for a drink and some conversation. Watch your favorite team play on the big screen. Or how about play some games? You can do all of that in one night at Best Bet. Each location has a different vibe, its own personality, like here at the original Best Bet in Orange Park. When you walk through these doors, everybody knows your name. And here in St. Augustine, it's the newest location. Play some poker. How about the table games? And don't forget about Ace's Sports Bar and Grill. And then there's the Jacksonville location right here on Monument Road. It's the biggest poker room in the state of Florida. Maybe you'll find yourself a seat right here at the final table. Best Bet, where you can have the best of times. And that makes you always go home a winner. Try any of the 3 locations, and you can always visit bestbetjacks.com.
Year 2 is in the books for the Jacksonville Armada women's under-23 squad, taking another step forward in the Women's Premier Soccer League. Under the guidance of head coach David Goff, the girls in blue went undefeated at home for a second straight season, including a dramatic draw in the opener.
And they've left it to the death. Unbelievable stuff.
And a late winner to end the season at home.
Headed on. Here's a chance. Gianna Ramirez brings it down, still alive, takes a shot, and into the back of the net.
After fielding a younger roster in 2025 with talent from all across Northeast Florida, the future is bright for the Armada women's team. We highlight the ladies and all things Jacksonville Armada each week on Fleet and Footy on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
I'll put one in the back of the net for you.
Join us for player profiles, fun interviews, and the very latest on the Fleet and all things footy. That's every Thursday at 2 p.m.
Burgers or breakfast, you can get it all at Whataburger. Try something new on the menu or an all-time favorite like the Whataburger Patty Melt. And now you can have breakfast here at Whataburger 12 hours a day, 11 p.m. until 11 a.m. Menu items like the bacon taquito, sausage taquito, honey butter chicken biscuit. Whether you work the late night shift, just want a snack early in the morning to get your day started, or a little pick-me-up late in the morning, 12 hours a day, breakfast served, 11 p.m. until 11 a.m. A dozen locations in Jacksonville. You can order pickup or delivery and download the Whataburger app. New rewards members get free Whataburger items when placing their first online order. Just download the app. And for us coffee drinkers, Whataburger has all new hot coffee and iced coffee too. Satisfy that coffee craving at Whataburger 24/7, and it comes in a variety of flavors. Burgers, breakfast, coffee, and so much more. Whataburger, just like you like it.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austin Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
Well, there's the Jacksonville Jaguars against the Blitz. Well, the Jags defense against offenses and the Blitz. And look at, it's kind of interesting. This is from Daniel Griffiths, and he writes about it today on actionsportsjacks.com. And you can see all the articles from this week talking about the trenches and some other things each and every day and each and every week on actionsportsjacks.com, where you can watch the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network for 24 hours a day as well. And 10th in the NFL at their blitz rate. So they're trying, and, well, they've still allowed a lot of pass yards against and the most touchdowns against the blitz.
Okay.
And meanwhile, Their sack percentage when they blitz is 3.5%. Their sack percentage when they don't blitz is 3.4%. It's neutralized.
Yeah.
So you take all that in, man, and what I would suggest is the blitz isn't working. They're trying it. You can't. Campanelli's trying. Everybody's thing is always like blitz, 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 right? Well, they are trying, and it's neutralized from a sack percentage. Now, maybe hits and pressures are a little bit different. Who knows? But obviously the success rate, if you're giving up the most touchdowns against the blitz and second most yards against the blitz, that ain't working well.
No.
So, I mean, if you're Campanelli, do you just say, okay, we're not going to blitz? Or do you call less of it? What do you think?
Well, because here's the thing. And I get, like, the difference here is, 0.1%?
Well, it's nothing.
Yeah, it's nothing, right? So it's minuscule. At least when you're blitzing, though, this is why I think fans always want the blitz, it shows that you're trying, right? Like, if you just keep out there and sending 4 and it's not getting home, well, it's like, well, you can do something else. Now, once again, when you blitz people, the back end suffers because of it. But I think people like that optical reassurance where it's like, well, at least he's trying. I mean, hey, I'm seeing 5-6 guys rush the quarterback. At least that's something. I mean, I'll be honest, I saw 3 guys rush the quarterback for the Texans, and I saw 3 guys rush 7 guys, including Allen and a chipper, the last play of the game, and they still got home.
Didn't matter.
Right, so it didn't matter. Obviously, it matters now for the Jaguars because they can't get home with 4. I'm under the impression of you got to keep sending people until you find the right, lineup, until you find the right rotation, whatever. Because sending 4, as we've seen, Brent, it's not getting the job done. And I get blitzing isn't getting the job done either, but at least you're taking more swings at it.
There's a reality here as we look at this, and again, you can see more of it and get in depth on it with ActionSportsJacks.com. Really dive into the numbers, what Daniel Griffiths brings to us each and every week. Here's the deal, man. I mean, you talk about the quick game. You talk about teams passing against the Jags almost first anyway. You talk about things like this, and I continuously hear the back end. And then you want to marry together the back end and the pass rush. Like, that goes hand in hand. Well, the bottom line is it seems like they're just not good enough in the back end. And you have what you have. The safeties from out of position maybe to banged up with Jordan Lewis and Eric Murray in that secondary to Newsome just getting here, trying to come along, to no Travis Hunter. And it's just not consistently good enough. We see some flashes. We even wonder, like, hey, Buster Brown seems like he's playing pretty good at times.
Yeah.
But is he playing good all the time? Jarian Jones, flashy the other day. Is he playing good play after play? Jordan Lewis felt like he was playing good play after play outside of the one rough game I think he had against the Rams. And then he got hurt after that. So we haven't seen Jordan Lewis in a while. Eric Murray wasn't, I don't think, playing dynamic, but he also, I don't think these numbers were as profound when he was in the football game.
Yeah.
So I'm not using these as excuses. I just think at some point you got to check in with the reality. The reality is they don't have a couple of guys, really a few if you add Travis Hunter, that could make a difference. They're not going to have Travis Hunter. Hopefully they'll have Eric Murray in a few weeks. Hopefully they'll have Jordan Lewis back sooner than later. But it is what it is until that all happens.
Yeah.
And they either just have to play better or they're kind of screwed. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is, right? Like, you can't trade for anybody now. I don't think there's anybody on waivers that is like you're clamoring to get. So what you have is what you have, Brent, and I agree. But and listen, I'm under the philosophy, and I get there's no right answer now for this defense, right? Like they're not getting home, and these stats by Griffiths, I mean, they prove it, and they're great numbers to look at because, to the people that are saying, well, why don't you blitz more? Well, Griffiths just put it out for you why you don't blitz more, right? And because keep in mind,
it's
when
not
you're blitzing,
making a difference.
When you're blitzing, especially with a vulnerable back end already in the secondary, you're leaving them more up for to be more vulnerable. But at the end of the day, I'm under the philosophy, Brent, where if you're going to go down, at least go down swinging. Honestly, like there's no magic play, there's no nothing. So if I'm going down, I'm going to go down sending 5, sometimes 6 guys because at least I know I'm trying to swing for the fences. And I'll let the chips fall where they may.
There's a sense in there building this week from me. I guess you're reading the tea leaves. That I would say, is that what they're kind of saying? Hey, Trevor, let it rip. Hey, just go make plays, man. And I feel like we've had these conversations in the past. This is not new to this regime. But I wonder if they're like, listen, if this season is going to burn, let it burn being aggressive. Let it burn playing.
Yep.
You know, like it's not doing us any good to play super conservative and worry about losing. Let's go attack and be aggressive and all those things that we have on the walls and say, let's do what we say. Because I will say that that's something that's interesting, too, here, is we would come in earlier in the season and be like, how'd they do on fast, right? That whole fundamentally sound, attacking, right, situational masters, toughness. And, the fundamentally sound and the situational masters has been iffy like every game.
Yeah.
And I do think, like, if that's what the MO and the core belief of Liam Cohen is going to be, they have got to figure out over these next 8 games if they can do some of that, even with a team that might not be great. They've got to do that. You've got to try to practice what you preach. You've got to deliver on Sundays what you're preaching and practicing. Like, I think that's important. And right now, like, if you take that acronym of FAST, it hasn't checked out. There have been times that have been tough and mentally tough. There have also been times they haven't been, it seems like, this year. And attacking, I would say, that's where this whole let it rip and even some of the split stuff is like, we got to keep doing it. We want to attack. We want to force the issue. If we're going to say that on the wall, we got to do it in the game, even if it doesn't work sometimes. So it'll be interesting to watch that part unfold. But here's the biggest concern for me about this defense. And I've been trying to say it, like, it's not great. And I didn't get a lot of response out of the locker room when asking these guys about it. But they gave up 35 against the Rams, and it looked real easy for the Rams.
Could have probably been a lot more.
It could have been more. They gave up 29 against the Raiders, who were averaging like 18 a game or something. It was easy at the end when it needed to be easy specifically. But the biggest red flag of all this is if you're not great in the back end, and you're even having some pass rush problems, you got the ultimate scenario that any team would sign up for, good or bad. 29-10 against a team that's not high-flying on offense, against a backup quarterback, and you couldn't get the job done. Like, you couldn't get the job done in the fourth quarter. To me, it's like the ultimate, I don't know if there's hope for this defense, and it's not a knock individually on a player. I think they have some good players. But I thought they had some good players last year, and they ended up 32nd, 31st, 29th, and everything else.
Yeah.
Right now, they look like a 29th, 30th, 31st, 32nd kind of defense over the last month. And I just don't know if talking about it, saying about it, whatever, is going to change it. It might be what they are. And that means the Jags offense has to really pick it up if they're going to have a chance. And occasionally, you still can come up with a play. Listen, the defense did come up with a couple of plays earlier in the game to set them up. But not when it mattered. Like, what are the Jags doing when it matters? Well, their offensive line, when it matters, are they running the football in a 4-minute? Not really. When they need to protect against a good front? Nope. They're not protecting. When they need to go get a play like a seal the dealer? Nope. Not happening. Yeah. Did in the first Houston game when Josh Hines-Allen got to Stroud and they end up forcing the pick. Not this time around. Is anybody going to make a big play? Well, the big plays have kind of gone quiet on defense. So this isn't like what happens in the second quarter with 10 minutes to go in the second quarter of a 7-7 game. Like, it's crunch time. That's when the game matters. Yeah. Like, that's when you got to make the play to win the football game. Devon Hamilton made a big play. And fortunately, the Jags have a win, or we'd really be in some kind of state of mind here in Jacksonville.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, because, I mean, once again, it's so cliche, but it's the truth. It's complimentary football, right? You said the offense has to pick them up now. What do you think has a better chance of happening? The offense finishing the season as maybe, we'll say, a top 12 offense, or the Jags defense finishing in the top 20? Because I remember the conversation last year, or in the preseason, Brent, we were having where, hey, if this Jaguars defense can finish in the top half, they should be all right. Well,
that's what I was hoping for.
They're not even close to that right now, and I'm not sure where each respective offense and defense is at in terms of rankings and everything. I assume they're probably both more towards the bottom than they are the top.
What's the stat that matters to you in terms of defensive? Like, how would we quantify it? Are you talking about points per game?
I mean, either it comes down to points per game or it comes down to yards per game. I mean, I think those are the big ones. Maybe points per game might be a little better just because the yards can be garbage time and all that stuff as well.
Yeah. Right now, from a Jags standpoint in yards, it looks like that's receiving yards. Let me get to let's go score. Well, no, that's not going to work either. Why is this so hard to do sometimes?
Okay, so
What do you got? I'm going to go to one that's really easy.
Okay, so in total, in terms of yards per game, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The Jaguars are right around, they would be 22nd.
Right now, 22nd.
Right now in the league in terms of total yards per game.
Let me back this up with points against. The Jags are 20th right now.
Okay.
24.4 a game they're allowing. Okay. So they're 20th. So you're telling me, so they got to move up a little bit.
Yeah.
Or the Jags have to be what, top 12 in offense? Do you know where the Jags are offensively? Because points for they're at 22.8 a game, which is 18th. Which, by the way, is about 4 points more than last year. But that was trending way up earlier in the season. It's now gone down. You say you got to be about top 12?
So, right now the Jaguars they're the 14th worst in terms of yards per game. If you want to go yards per game.
So they're like 16th, 17th, 18th, something like that? 18th?
Yeah.
I would suggest, so they're about 18th by scoring, too. So they're right around that category, depending on, again, what metric you're looking for. I think their running game is probably a little higher than that. But
what has odds of going up?
I would say I think their offense does.
Okay.
I think their offense does. I think they're going to get Brenton Strange back. Brian Thomas just missed a game. Parker's coming into his own. I think Jacoby Myers helped settle everything down. And then everybody else, I think Trevor has to play better. We'll see. I've got confidence that he'll do something better than he's done.
Yeah.
I think there's more upside there. I always say the second half of this offense in a new scheme should be better anyway. Hasn't really clicked yet. Did a little bit. I thought we found something in Jacksonville against the Raiders. And, by the way, there was a time where they scored on like 10 of 12 possessions, if you even add up the Houston game.
Yeah.
And then the fourth quarter went flat. So we'll see where this goes with the Chargers. But I do think this defense is not a fixable item right now. I don't know if just Jordan Lewis coming back in, if that happens, is going to be enough. I think this defense is in kind of a pickle.
So, and listen, what we're talking about too, obviously, this Jaguars offense went against the Texans last week, best defense in the NFL. This Jaguars defensive line this week is going against arguably the very worst offensive line in all of football.
True.
We talked about Liam Cohen, how this is kind of I don't want to say it's an addition or anything, but Liam Cohen's looking for better play out of Trevor Lawrence to find out what he has. I think we can all agree with that. Who's to say worst case scenario? Don't want to speak into existence, but worst case scenario. The Jaguars go up there on defense. They can't get home, maybe 1 second at the most. We don't really mention Josh Hines' name. We're not talking about Trayvon Walker against maybe the worst offensive line in all the NFL. What is that going to tell Campanelli then and Gladstone going forward? Do you have to raise some caution to that, or are you just going to chalk it up and say, hey, they might be better next year?
I think it means you got a lot of work to do. I think you might already know you have a lot of work to do, but I think you've got some tough decisions to make, and I think you're going to have some tough decisions to make. Right? This goes back to our ETN conversation. Yeah. He's a good player. Is he Saquon Barkley? No. But for a good player on Jacksonville, that's a big deal right now because you only have so many.
Yeah.
But he's not going to be a great player, I don't think. And I love ETN, but he's not going to be a great player. So now Trayvon Walker, do you see in the weeds of everything, despite looking at all the stats and grading him against Hutchinson, does he have the potential to be a great player? Do you think he's going to be great, or is he just a very good player? Well, that goes, do you sign him or not? There are a lot of things to be said here, and I think a lot to be earned over the last 8 games of this football season for a lot of these players, those 2 in particular, but even some other ones. So, listen, I'm going to say it again for the millionth time, but I started saying this a couple weeks ago. I think the back half of this year is massive for players to prove that they should be here after the investments that have been made to be here on them, whether it's draft capital or even financially. And then I think from a culture standpoint alone, it's massive for this football team to win at least, in my estimation, 4 out of the last 8 games and end up 9-8. Okay, that's like the worst thing now that to me that could happen. If you're 4-1 to start the year and you're in the playoff spot after 9 games, you can't go like 3-5 the last 8 games when you have like one of the easiest schedules in the league. And I know the Jags have warts and the Jags have problems right now and they've got injuries, but it doesn't matter. Like, you have to find a way to win football games so Liam Cohen, James Gladstone, Tony Baselli can get this thing rolling in the right direction. I had somebody tell me the other day, who was, I won't say who it was, they might not want to be named. But, it wasn't Trent. I know. I'm kidding. I did talk to Doug Peterson a little bit last night. But,
wow. On the links? I'm kidding.
No. Okay. But they said something that was pretty fascinating. The Jaguars, because of the way the NFL is this year and because of their start, could make the playoffs and not really be a playoff team. You know what they're saying? You understand that? Like, it makes some sense. And I think that's a pretty good way to characterize it. Like, right now, I don't feel like the Jags are a playoff team. Statistically, they are a little bit of an anomaly to even be in the position they are in. Yet, they are taking advantage of coming up big in some late-game situations, an early start, and also a league right now that is pretty meh in the AFC.
Yeah.
And they've got an opportunity to do that, so what the hell? Take advantage of it. Mm-hmm. It's even worse if you don't take advantage of it.
Yep.
So I do think like there's a lot to gain, even without necessarily making like this crazy run in January, and all that. There's a lot to gain here at the end of the season, I think, from an organization and also from the players' perspective, too, on whether they're going to be a part of this thing going forward. Mr. Hugo, Brent, stop talking. I'm trying to listen to Van Halen. The announcer must have said 6-7. That's why they were screaming. Yeah. Did they? I haven't heard that yet.
No, I mean, kids are going crazy.
We should have brought up. That's what we should have done. We should have made like these big index cards, 6 and 7.
Yeah,
we could have been.
But
stars today.
Yeah, but I feel like kids don't want us to do that because we're like the uncool adults. So we might get like popcorn and like drinks thrown at us, Brent. So now you're putting the whole show in jeopardy. Now you're going to risk like Coke and things getting thrown out on the board. So
we saw Ronan earlier.
Ronan's here. Yep, Ronan's here rocking his Oregon Ducks sweatshirt.
He is. You can't miss him.
Depending. I feel like the game will keep on going before the show's done, right? Or not?
Well, yeah, it might finish.
Okay,
it's gonna be close.
I mean, it'll be close. But if worse comes to worse, then I might have to go up there and give him the jersey because he's asking for the jersey.
Oh, he wants the jersey.
Yeah. Thank God I have a T-shirt underneath this.
Yeah, it's jerseys look good.
Oh, jerseys look great, man.
I should love. Yeah. I don't know if anybody can see the jersey or not.
Brett, and listen, far be it for me to be a hockey expert, but
I got 2-4-7, by the way, not 6-7.
There you go, man. We're 2 minutes into the second period, and the Icemen haven't scored yet. So I don't know if there's, I don't know. I'm not sure we should be getting nervous yet or not.
Oh no, another blown lead in Jacksonville.
Oh, Brett, hey, here we go, 6-7. This is it.
This is the song.
This is it. Let's go, Brett.
Oh, here they go.
Everyone's doing. Oh, it's chaos.
Boy, they're crazy. Look, they're all doing this.
They're all doing it.
They're all doing this.
Yep. Parents, can control your kids. So I'm
they just played it for like a moment.
Make sure you know what they're listening to, parents. So I'm going to say. Energy's electric here with a 6-7 song now. Iceman skating in the Solar Bears zone.
Ooh. Almost snuck one in there.
Yeah.
Iceman in the white, by the way. Solar Bears in the purple. And up 4-1, the Jacksonville Icemen. They scored 5 goals were scored in the first 11 minutes of this game.
Brent, can you answer me this question? I mean, I know they said that the jerseys, are the white considered the home jerseys? Because usually I feel like it's like the darker colors are their home jerseys.
I've never been good at that, and I think that just switches. I've always thought home whites were more the norm. And I really feel like that's shifted in recent memory, like not 5 years, but maybe over the last 15 years. Yeah. And also, when you have the Icemen, they've got different jerseys every home game anyway.
Yeah, this is
true. Because you got Star Wars night. You've got every night.
Yeah, of course.
So, I think, but I don't know. I like the whites. We got the blue one from the old days.
Oh, yeah.
And now we got a white one as well. All right, let's take a timeout. Brent Austin Show, Action Sports Jax 24/7 Network. We'll continue to talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars. Update you on the Icemen. Having a fun day here with all the screaming kids here for Education Day. This thing started at 10:30 in the morning, and these guys weren't tired. They were ready to roll and scored 4 goals in the first 11 minutes. They lead 4-1 right now. Get your tickets at JacksonvilleIcemen.com, by the way, and head on out to all the Icemen games. Got a lot of things happening this weekend, including the UNF Ospreys. They'll be home for their debut. They lost to Tennessee last night, 99-66, but they'll be home for homecoming on Saturday at 2 o'clock, and we'll tell you a little bit more about that in a bit and how you can listen to it right here on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 Network. Wagers on the weekend. We don't have those coming up until tomorrow. We'll also have our weekend spreads presented by Mason's Famous Lobster Rolls. But Casey needs to get on the board. Everybody on the board early in November. That's a good sign. It's a shorter month than October was. We'll be right back. When it's time to get a new car for anyone in your family, just remember, nobody but Nimnick, the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Get the latest price breaks on 2023 and 2024 models or the newest 2025 vehicles in the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com 24 hours a day. GMC Sierras, Yukons, and the redesigned Acadias, or get the all-new redesigned line with Buicks. It's nobody but Nimnick, and part of the reason why is this is a first-class buying experience here at Nimnick Buick GMC. You're not just a customer, you're a friend. This is about getting a vehicle that best fits you and getting you on the road, and also helping you and your family down the road. Nimnick has a treating you right guarantee, courtesy, respect, fairness, and most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnick. Who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? Nobody but Nimnick. GMC, we are professional grade.
If you look good, you feel good, and the medical professionals here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics are here to make you feel your best. I'm on camera every week, and I have a confession to make. I'm not always confident in my appearance. Can you see my dark circles? Is my makeup highlighting my fine lines instead of covering them up? I question it all. So when I found out about the wide variety of procedures here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics, I knew help was just one appointment away. Medical Director Dr. Megan Deacon Casey and her board-certified physicians have been using the latest in cutting-edge technology for the last 10 years, giving men and women their personal confidence boost. From Botox, fillers, Morpheus 8, and so much more. The hardest part was figuring out what I needed. Thankfully, the medical team walked me through what would work best for me through a free consultation. Come look and feel your best with the team here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics. Visit them at one of their 2 locations, either over in Ponte Vedra or on the south side.
Baker's Sports. It's a hometown business filled with hometown people trying to make you feel right at home.
Chris Conley, Jacksonville University.
Walker Wright, class of 2018, West Nassau High School.
Michael Young, Fletcher High School.
Baker's Sports started in a grassroots way and now outfits much of the Southeast.
Tony Mazzio, Stanwood High School, class of 2002.
High school sports, travel sports, youth sports of all kinds. They are a one-stop shop carrying Nike, Adidas, Under Armour brands, and more.
Vincent Caldes, Oak Leaf High School. Samuel Coffrin, Paxton School for Advanced Studies.
Whether it's sports teams on the field or it's your team in the workplace, like our Action Sports Jacks team, and community events like the Dream 18 Golf Tournament, and many others.
Cole Tilley, Hilliard High School. Reagan Webb, Eagles View Academy.
Look good, feel good, play good with Baker Sports. Custom sports apparel since 1997. Shop with the hometown team at bakersport.com.
Empower a future, inspire a dream. It's a bold but simple mission for the Jacksonville Police Athletic League known as Jax PAL. Help the next generation of kids in Jacksonville shape a brighter future. Their after-school programs, teenage leadership programs. There's community outreach.
It's been just an awesome opportunity to be out here with my colleagues and do something good for the community. It's really been an interesting opportunity to just see everybody work together in a way that we don't normally in the office.
And there's sports. There are also ways you can help the next generation with a donation of any kind. Just visit jaxpal.org to get more information. Empower a future, inspire a dream with Jax PAL.
Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austin Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
A little Ole Miss, Florida Gator Lane Kiffin. Why does he look chubbier with the Gators?
Looks a lot chubby. Yeah. I mean, usually white isn't slimming.
Did they put him on his head on somebody else?
It appears that way.
Obviously, it's photoshopped to some degree, but is that an old picture of Lane?
I think that's just AI, man.
Yeah, maybe.
I think that's just.
It doesn't even look like Lane Kiffin.
Left
really.
I think the left is more Alabama on the sidelines with Nick Saban. Lane Kiffin probably just got yelled at or something.
When am I going to go on go lose 25 pounds as I approach my age 50 year?
Oh, is that coming up?
Well, in a couple of years, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But it's like I got to go on some health kick at some point, I guess.
I mean, health kick, get a Harley, get a sports car. You know, man, like any one of those would be all right.
Yeah, just quit my job.
Yeah, quit your job. You know, go travel the world, live in a van, do something.
Live in a van.
It's all right. Some people do that.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
I really like that idea. Hey, we usually have Let's Go Fishing presented by Nimnick Buick GMC and Armor Guard Exteriors. Got our helmet at NorthFlorida.com. We knew we had all the screaming kids, so we gave Paul the week off here this week, and we'll get back at it next week. But do want to tell you about Nimnick Buick GMC, who does a great job supporting a lot of the local teams in the area as well, including some of the Jacksonville Icemen events and games. And, hey, the holidays are right around the corner at Nimnick Buick GMC, and they are getting ready for Nimnick's bigger-than-ever Black Friday event, so you don't want to miss it. The biggest sale of the year is coming up, so start your shopping early. NimnickBuickGMC.com or visit the showroom off Phillips Highway today, and you don't want to miss the best place to shop for a new vehicle or a used vehicle. Unbeatable holiday savings, NimnickBuickGMC.com or visit the showroom Phillips Highway with Nimnick Buick GMC. Nobody but Nimnick. And also one other note about Gutter Helmet at NorthFlorida.com. 25% off if you tell them Action Sports Jack sent you. So if you're looking for some big projects around the holiday season going into 2026, make sure you go visit Gutter Helmet at NorthFlorida.com. Also visit Armor Guard Exteriors off St. John's Bluff and tell them Brent and Austin sent you, and you can save 25% off products on awnings, gutters, windows, storm protection, and more. Brent Martineau, Austen Lane, Jason Hamby. We are at the Jacksonville Icemen game and hanging out with, thousands and thousands of kids. What age group is this that are here? Ronan's how old? What's grade Ronan?
Ronan's 10, so he's in 5th grade right now.
Okay. You're probably looking at 3rd to 6th graders. Probably stay away from the younger age. Maybe it's 4th, 5, 3rd, 4th, 5th, something like that. And thousands of them on hand for the Jacksonville Icemen, who scored 4 goals in the first 11 minutes, got this place rocking, and they still lead 4-1 over the Orlando Solar Bears with 13:38 to go in the second period. Donut cam time right now. I got all the festivities out here on a fun Thursday morning here in Jacksonville. Just the 3rd home game for the Jacksonville Icemen, by the way. They just opened it up last weekend. They were on the road for 8 games prior to that. They're now 5-5 on the season. They were 5-3 on the road trip, lost both games at home, so they're looking for their first home win of 2025 and 2026. Hey, mentioned Parker Washington a couple of times here. Gosh, how big of a player does he become for this football team? It almost feels like, oh no, you got to get him ready for Sunday. He's got to play Sunday. Yeah. He has been so critical. He almost brought 2 of those back the other day in the punt return game. Yeah. And obviously, you talk about going to make a play. We're waiting for that. Parker does that. Yeah. So I think a lot of eyes on Parker Washington. And it's a great story developing with Parker Washington, a former 6th-round pick out of Penn State. And as much as you want Brenton Strange back and everybody else, you can't lose a guy like Parker Washington. The Jags are already thin enough. So we'll keep an eye on that today and see if he practices at all and trends toward playing or not.
Yeah. No, without a doubt. And, listen, I don't know. I mean, you don't know. I don't know.
That one came out of the blue.
It's kind of alarming. Well, I'll be honest. The Travis Hunter one was kind of alarming, too, because of non-contact injury, right? Yeah. So, I mean, who knows? But, yeah, listen, with Brian Thomas Jr., you hope to work him back regardless of what the injury is and everything. But with Parker Washington, I mean, this is another example. This is what your most sure-handed wide receiver that you have. Well, Jacoby Myers was, but you're still working him in the offense. But Parker was kind of that guy that you, I think, had to rely on going forward. And now we're not sure exactly what the extent of that injury is. So, listen, it just seems like these past couple of weeks, we went over it yesterday, the past month or so, just, the laundry list of issues this team has had. Well, go ahead and chalk Parker Washington up now as well.
Is he how does he factor into fantasy football? Like, are
Parker
people
Washington?
going to start him, like, would you add Parker because of what he's starting to do, his elevation in the game plan, all that stuff?
I think as soon as Brian Thomas Jr. kind of looked a little banged up, I think everyone was on the Parker Washington waiver wire. So I feel like in a lot of leagues, especially the 10, 12 PPR leagues, he's already taken up, Brent. And someone, if he's playing, someone's probably going to, have a good day with him if he is playing, though, at a max capacity.
We might do this tomorrow and have the conversation. I'm working on a pregame story for Sunday. I'm kind of waiting to see also if he's going to play and how that's trending for Countdown to Kickoff at 11:30 in the morning on CBS 47 Sunday live from the stadium. And I asked him about the chop wood, carry water. And it's pretty interesting, some of the stuff that he had to say about that. Also asked him about the celebration with Deshaun Jackson. That goes back. And he referenced, he is such a big Deshaun Jackson fan as a kid. He knew the exact play, the route. You've seen it a million times, that the whole Deshaun Jackson fall into the end zone deal. And so really fun conversation about those couple of things with Parker Washington. We might play for you tomorrow on the show. Also kind of let's see where this thing lands with his injury as well. A thing or two around the National Football League. Jameis Winston's going to get the start, and I say it's about time. I mean, this
Did
guy.
Did you see his interview, by the way?
Oh, it's unbelievable.
My God, man.
I mean, it's weird, right? Because we're all in on the Jameis stuff. Like, the Jameis stuff's kind of fun. It used to be goofy. Like, there's levels of it, right? It's like, what are you doing? Goofy, now fun. And you can appreciate that it's fun, but it's also a 2-8 football team that just fired their coach. But he is still having fun, and it's like, I wonder how people in New York take it because they're probably pissed off about the season and everything else. But I'm actually excited to see Jameis Winston play some football because he's an interesting one for me where he never really got a chance after throwing 30 touchdowns and 30 picks, which is insane. But, 30 touchdowns ain't easy to throw. I used to say this about Blake Bortles. Like, you can talk about all the mistakes, but it ain't easy to throw 30 touchdowns, or Blake threw 35 one year. Like, that ain't easy to do either in the NFL. And it just surprises me with all the quarterbacks that Winston really never got another chance to start and have a team. He went to New Orleans, sat behind Breeze, never really got to look. He played some games, but never really got a chance, where like a Gardner Minshew did. Like, Gardner Minshew went to another place, got a chance. But he didn't. I
mean, Jameis got that. I mean, he put himself on the map, I feel like, in Tampa.
He did,
right? And then New Orleans and everything. But I get it. And to me, like, I think you know what you're getting with Jameis, right? And it's almost like you have to know when to buy high and sell when it's low, because he will give you those games where it's good, and like he'll be a top 5 like fantasy quarterback. And then there's those games where it's like 4 turnovers, fumbles, interceptions, and it's like, this guy's a liability. And that's, I mean, we talk about the Trevor Lawrence experience where it's a roller coaster. I mean, this is the Jameis Winston is just literally the Tower of Terror. It's a free fall, and then you go back up, and it's cool, and it's a free fall again. So, I mean, I'm excited for him because, and I'll be honest, man, like, I had my own reservations about him when he first got to the league and everything, and just like the whole personality. But it's starting to grow on me now. And I don't know if he's even being, like, genuine. I don't know if
I think he is. I think people know that now. It is genuine.
Man. But, like, see, to me, like, he's amplified even the past couple of years. Just in terms of, like,
he's embraced it.
Yeah, he's definitely embraced it. But, like,
he's a different cat.
I enjoy it, man. I enjoy it because he is such an enigma, Brent, and he is so different. And now you get to see that guy that, every single clip of the press conference is being shared and trending on Twitter. But now we get to see the most important thing. We get to see him on the field being a starting quarterback for a team. And like, that's what it's all about. Like, to me, it's almost like the fight business, right? Where, like, he's so good on the microphone and he's so polarized, because some people still want to hate on him for the way that he presents himself, for the way that he conducts himself. But now, it's like, here's that pay-per-view fight. Here's that chance for James to go out there and actually play in a football game. So I'm all for it. I'll probably tune in a little bit and see what he can do.
Yeah, I think so too. There's something that I want to see. I just want to see how it goes, and I think in a weird way, again, they're 2-8. They're not going to do anything, but I think people are interested to see how they will do. A couple other things. Paul Skeens wins the NL Cy Young, and Skubal wins the AL Cy Young back-to-back for Skubal. I think I saw those the first time since maybe the early 90s that an AL pitcher has won. Maybe it's even longer than that. I forget the actual date on it now that I say it. Hamby, bring you in here for a little baseball chatter. Are these guys going to continue to dominate Major League Baseball? Because if I asked this question years ago about a Jacob deGrom or somebody like that, you would say yes. But the Major League Baseball pitcher, to me, is a little bit like the elite golfer, where you have this run for, like the best golf guys will have a run for 18 months, 24 months, and they're on top of the world, man. And then sometimes they'll slide away. Look at Jordan Spieth. You don't hear from him again. But now there's obviously what Scheffler's doing, but I'm talking about dominate, and then you kind of go away. Dustin Johnson did it. Like, you can name 5-6 guys that did it outside of Tiger. But Rory's been a little bit like that. So, and Scheffler, of course, is more Tiger-like the last 4 years. But I think baseball pitchers are a bit like that because of injuries most of the time, or people figure them out, or their stuff is just so dynamic for a couple of years. Now, Skeen's stuff appears to be dynamic for a long time to come.
Yeah.
He's such a young guy.
Here we go, man. Now we're playing the Kendrick. Turn the TV off. Kids love their mustard, Brent. Ronan is going ballistic.
Well, they're also announcing the grades. So we just saw the 6th grade, 5th grade, 4th grade. Now we're down to 3rd grade. So they answered my question. Well, they've got popcorn being thrown over there by Fang, I think it is. Oh, wait, we even have 1st graders, they say. Maybe not. Not allowed cheers, so maybe they're on 1st graders here.
I mean, are we getting every single... where are the infants at? Where are the baby Bjorns at?
Where are the adults at?
Where are the adults at, more importantly?
Hopefully there are enough of them.
Oh, Brett, here we go again. We're going back to 6-7.
We got 6-7
We're going 6-7 again, everybody.
Ronan's got 6-7 going like crazy.
He's doing it, man. He's one of the ringleaders. I don't know how many times I got to say it. Investigate 6-7, please. Investigate it.
We picked a good spot here. We got eyes on Ronan. He better be well behaved.
It's a perfect sitting. Are we going to send Ben with 6-7, or what is the deal with that?
Send Ben to investigate. That would actually be a really funny story.
I mean, what are we
That'd
doing?
Be a funny story.
Listen, I understand, it's like the self-driving things, and we're spending like what, $500,000 in each one, and
city council,
self-driving,
whatever.
Dude, in 20 years it'll all be self-driving. Hey, Ben, in 20 years 6-7 might still be a thing, so let's go ahead and send Ben and find out what's going on there.
Hamby, I think in a morning meeting you should suggest that.
I think I might. I mean, they actually
funny.
had a news story on JTA and the autonomous vehicles this morning. You can get to that probably.
Of course.
I would expect an update on Action News Jax. Not at noon because, I mean, you can do side-by-side if you'd like. In about 5 minutes, you can have us on and Action News Jax at noon as well. But you'll probably get that at 4, 5, and 6 today, I would assume. Back to the Cy Young stuff,
Hey,
though.
jump in. Yeah, what do you think? Are these guys going to dominate? I mean, it's easy to say yes, right? Because they are dominating now.
I'd say recent history would probably say they will be good, but might not win the Cy Youngs again. I mean, if you look in the last 10 years, we've had everybody in the American League. I'll start there. Dallas Keuchel, Rick Porcello, Shane Bieber. He's sticking around, but those guys have not. Robbie Ray, still a very good pitcher, but he's not a Cy Young candidate year in and year out. In the National League, you had Scherzer for a long time, DeGrom, Corbin Burns. He's been really good, and then the injury, he wasn't all that great in Baltimore. Sandy Alcantara has not been the same at all since his injury. Chris Sale has been very good. He won last year and was very good again this year. So I think they would say that dominant may be a stretch. It's very easy to say they'll be very good for a long time, considering both their age. They're both very young, especially Skeens. But maybe the question is, will they win? I mean, Scuba wins back-to-back, but so Skeens, will he win 2 more in his career? I think the easy way to say would be yes, but given recent history, I'd say maybe pump the brakes.
Yeah, I think I would buy. I think I would buy the fact that he would win another. I mean, several more. I'm just looking this up right now, and I feel like I should know this, but
very few guys ever win 3. 2 is, a lot of guys do
Clemens
2.
Win?
Hamby,
Clemens won 7.
That's crazy.
Which is
7.
nuts.
Hamby, let me ask you this, because I assume you probably watched some Skeens this year.
Yeah.
Or not?
Yep.
Yeah, he said
Yeah. So, did you get the sense that this year, obviously he's still a very young player, but, I felt like he was a lot more calm, cool, and collected. And even though, he played the Brewers and he got hit up a couple times, but I watched a bunch of Skeens games, and, it seems like he's not even, he's starting to come into his own. We haven't even seen, the full arsenal of what he's capable of. I felt like his rookie year, it was more of, to trying to overpower everybody. This year, it was more, I'm going to be a little more reserved, pick my spots. I think the sky's the limit for Skeens because I think he looked a lot more comfortable this year, and one would think that they can get any kind of run support behind him whatsoever. I feel like he's going to even be more comfortable where he probably will win a couple more of them.
Yeah, I think that's the nail on the head right there because, think about going back to college. All he had to do was throw the heater, and he was going to dominate 90% of the hitters that he faced. Even his rookie year, since it was that new to hitters, all he had to do was throw the fastball for strikes and mix in anything else, and he was going to get a ton of punch-outs. Now you saw him actually start to pitch, right? Start to work specific counts. Like you said, pick his spots. Now he got 3 pitches for strikes instead of maybe just 2, fastball, splinker, slider. And then next year it's going to be really command those pitches even more. So there's a definite chance where he becomes a much better pitcher in the years to come than he even was this year.
Well, I think he will have to be on some. That's my point, right? Roger Clemens became a better pitcher later in his career. He couldn't just chuck it anymore. And people can hit 102 miles an hour, 100 miles an hour. Now it's still hard, but you got to have the other stuff. And some guys, sometimes you have your stuff, sometimes you don't. It's fascinating. I've never really looked at this before, but now that we're discussing it, I was looking at 2 times in a row, like Skubal just won in 24 and 25. It's actually happened quite a bit. Clemens did it in 86, 87, 97, 98. Randy Johnson won 4 in a row. I did not remember that. 99, 2000, 2001, 2002. Well, guess what? Greg Maddux did too, 92 to 95. But then you have a lot of 2-year runs, like Sandy Koufax, 65 and 66. Jim Palmer, 75 and 76. Pedro, 99 and 2000. Clayton Kershaw, 2013, 2014. And in these stretches, by the way, they also won a third one in 4 years. 19. Yeah, I was going to get down to that, but Denny McClain going all the way back. Crazy Bob Gibson only won 2 Cy Youngs. And he's the one guy I wish I could have watched in person. Lincecum won in 2008, 2009. You said DeGrom, and now you got Skubal. So, this is not out of the norm is my point. To get in a wheelhouse and I guess what people would call their prime, to win 2 in a row or even 3 in a 4-year stretch has happened quite a bit for some of the best in the game. But Skubal could join the likes of Koufax, Seaver, Palmer, Pedro, Kershaw, Scherzer, and Verlander with 3 if he wins 1 more. And then only 2 guys have won 4, Carlton and Maddux. Randy Johnson won 5 and Clemens won 7, which is very Tom Brady-like, actually, Roger Clemens, which I've never really thought about to parallel those 2 careers. But he won one in 86 and he won in 2004. Won 18 years apart, won the Cy Young. Of course, the Red Sox said he was in the twilight of his career before he went on to Toronto and then New York and pitched really well. So just fascinating. Listen, we're in a dominant pitching age, and I think we've got some dominant pitchers, but they've got to stay healthy, and that's the thing. It feels like you have a 2, 3, 4-year run, and then outside of that, can you find it again? I think the Scherzers of the world are examples of that. The DeGroms of the world are examples of that. And so I think, hey, enjoy it now because I don't know how long it's going to go for some of these guys, even though when you're in the present, you're like, oh, yeah, they're going to win X amount. I don't know about that. Although Skeens, to me, Hamby, it seems like he's kind of Clemens-esque, where he might be that power pitcher that has a long run. And where Skubal, to me, I feel like Skubal's delivery doesn't add up for longevity, in my opinion. And I don't know if it's a lefty thing as well, but it just feels like there's a lot of effort going on there, right? I mean, it's way less effort when you look at Clemens over the years and also a guy like Skeens right now in terms of, dialing it up to what they're throwing. I don't know if it's a righty thing or a lefty thing, too.
It is definitely funky, especially with the leg kick. I see what you're saying. It does seem so much high effort. And so there's definitely a case where that could be where it's really hard to kind of reproduce year in and year out for 10 or 11 years because it seems that there's a lot of working parts in it. But the counter to that is you can tell with Scooble that he has spent years hammering down his exact delivery, putting a ton of work into the pitching aspect of being a pitcher, not just being a thrower, so that he's got this as well. Maybe that counteracts it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to watch. Hot Stove is going to be interesting to watch as well. Since we're bouncing around a little bit in some sports, just wanted to get a couple NBA thoughts in. But did you see the Joker last night? Woo!
Yeah,
55, and it was easy once again.
Pretty good.
Just unbelievable. And what I noticed last night, there was another thing I'll let Oklahoma City 12-1.
Oh, yeah, man.
Just off to a great start again.
Absolutely curb stomped the Warriors a couple of nights ago. Yeah, and by the way, and I forgot how this is going to work now because, and this is the NBA for you. The
NBA Cup thing?
No.
Oh, okay.
So the Oklahoma City Thunder have an option to take, I think, the Clippers' first-round pick this year. I believe. And I think the Clippers right now, they're doing kind of crappy.
Yeah, they're 3-8.
So they could finish as maybe one of the top, five. Long story short, they could be a lottery pick.
Okay.
This Oklahoma City Thunder, for whatever reason, I don't understand all these rules, could take that lottery pick then from the Clippers and have that for the up-and-coming NBA season.
Okay.
Because of a trade that went down or whatever the case. So not only are they the best team right now in the NBA, but they might have a lot of draft capital coming down the pipe as well.
It could be set up well.
It's crazy, man.
Well,
yeah.
And they're only paying him, right? SGA. Are they?
Yeah, I mean, Chet's, I think, still on his rookie. I mean, eventually they'll have to pay Chet. I believe in everything. But no, I mean, they're in terms of cap wise, I think they're pretty good right now. And like I said, I want to say this year they have a right to do that, and I think next year, the following year, they also get a first round pick. So they're stocked for right now, and they're also stocked for the future.
I just want to ask you about the teams that stink. Brooklyn, Indiana, Washington. Any crazy surprises? They have one win. They're 1-10, 1-10, 1-11. I would think Indiana is a bit of a surprise.
Well, Indiana's a little bit of a surprise, but listen, the story's been on them. I mean, obviously that they lose their star in Halliburton for the year because he's not coming back, and then they let Miles Turner go to the Bucks. So, I mean, you lose your two big players, that's going to happen.
Yeah, and then Dallas, who everybody's got their eyes on with the Luka trade from last year, but got Cooper Flag.
Just fired their GM, too, by the way.
They did, 3-9. Yeah. So they did fire Nico.
Yes.
Which he's been under fire for ever since that trade.
Yep, without a doubt. And Dallas, obviously, Anthony Davis, too, has been sidelined, so they're still trying to find their way a little bit. I'm trying to find out a surprise team. People want to say that the Spurs are a surprise, but I'm not surprised simply because if you watch what Wemby's doing, man, he's now developed.
Thank you, man. Thanks. The cookie.
Thanks. Just say what's up. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good jersey. Got a cookie out of the deal.
Yeah, man. We'll take that.
That's how about the Lakers? Even without LeBron, are you at all surprised? Playing okay?
I'm a little surprised, right? And the whole LeBron thing. I think he's going to the G League for a couple games, a couple warm-up games.
Is that what he's going to do?
I think that's what they were saying. I don't know if that was true or not, but he's going to get a couple warm-up games and come back. Pistons, really solid team right now as well. They showed glimpses last year. Now they're really capitalizing what they did last year. Cade Cunningham, one of the best.
I was going to say,
one of the most underrated players.
He really is. He's played well.
Yeah.
And Star.
You know what? I think if you put him on a different team, he might. I think just in Detroit, he gets lost in the sauce sometimes. But I think he's a star.
Things are happening in Detroit now. They're 10-2. They got him. They got Scooball winning. They're going to keep Scooball, probably not. Yeah. And they got the Detroit Lions. It's and even your Red Wings are playing decent.
Without it, careful. Careful. Oh, I'm sorry, Brent. Are you talking about the Atlanta Falcons of the NHL right now, where
you don't know what to get?
I mean, hey, let's beat the Toronto Maple Leafs twice, and then let's get absolutely curb stomped by the Chicago Blackhawks. You know, what are we talking about?
Let's take a timeout. We'll come back. Brent and Austin Show, Action Sports Jax 24/7 Network. We'll get back to some football talk in the conversation. I thought it was an interesting deal the other day, or yesterday, I saw on Twitter, where there are some Matthew Stafford comps early in his career to Trevor Lawrence. Is that, I'll give you why I thought it was interesting. But recency bias would say, like, what the hell are you talking about?
Name this Cy Young player.
Who we got there,
pitcher.
Andy?
Name him.
Name him?
Cy Young winner.
Cy Young winner for the D-backs. Gosh, I got it.
This is AI, Hamby. This guy does not exist.
Does it begin with a G?
No, it does not. He won the Cy Young in 2006. Right before Peavy and Lincecum.
Webb?
Yes.
Good answer, Brent.
Brandon Webb.
Good answer.
How about that?
Here.
What's his first name?
Brandon. Then he signed a huge deal with the Rangers, had injuries, and that was it for him.
How about that? Boy, sometimes I impress myself. That one impressed me.
Without a doubt.
We got to go to break so y'all can sing Old Time Road.
How about that? All right, we'll take a break. Be back, and 4-2 is now the score. Oh, we got a little fight. What we got? We'll figure
Are they calling me, Brent? Are we good?
Hey, send them in.
I'm ready.
It'd be awesome if
they
they just
me.
skated out there.
Oh, I don't even need skates, man. It's fine. I have good contact balance.
We'll be right back. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. When you hear that, you think Bono's Pit Barbecue, a staple in Northeast Florida now for 75 years. A place that feels like home with friendly service, a meeting place for friends, family, or business occasions. On the menu, the corn nuggets are a favorite in our house, but there's something for everyone. Sandwiches, platters, salads, sides, desserts, and family feasts. You see Bono's all over the place in Northeast Florida. You know, there are almost 20 locations in the Jacksonville area now, so stop on by, sit down, and dine in with Bono's. You can also take it to go. There are drive-thrus in many of the locations, and they have delivery options too. Just download the Bono's app to make things easy. I signed up for the loyalty program, and you can too, to get special offers. If Jacksonville is home, few things feel more Jacksonville than Bono's Pit Barbecue. Celebrate 75 years and many more to come. Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
People helping people. It's at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From the start in 1954 to today, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. I had a chance to see that commitment firsthand as Alive partnered with our Action Sports Jax 24/7 team to bring you Armada men's and women's soccer broadcasts. Inside the 18, it is a shot, and it's a goal! Chloe Chivers! And that connection to the community continues with Alive Credit Union's support of the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of all first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing is taking their 75-plus years of expertise and expanding to CGC Home Services. Water treatment and plumbing is still a big part of what they do, and now they can do even more for you. Home services like kitchen and bathroom remodeling, showers, sinks, faucets, toilet repair, backflow testing, and the list keeps going. Find all they can do at cgchomeservices.com or give them a call, 904-298-7052. It's a new look and a new name with the same expertise. They've been serving homes like yours since 1946. CGC Home Services, right here in Jacksonville off St. John's Bluff Road, 904-298-7052. And visit cgchomeservices.com. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
We've been telling you about the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network for over a year now. How to find it, what to see. Simply put, it's TV online. Local sports content all day, every day. Just like this.
Did you always want to make history? Like, think that big, or just say, hey, I want to play in the NFL?
I always say I wanted to play in the NFL.
Cuts it back to her left side, takes a shot, and into the back of the net.
Oh, what a pass.
Oh, my goodness.
What a pass.
And they have been. We've been talking, we've been articulating.
I did have a sense that they wanted to be bold, that they wanted to make a splash.
It's content you won't find on TV. Find it on actionsportsjax.com and just sit back and watch local sports all day on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Grab some friends and go to a restaurant, or head out for a drink and some conversation. Watch your favorite team play on the big screen. Or how about play some games? You can do all of that in one night at Best Bet. Each location has a different vibe, its own personality, like here at the original Best Bet in Orange Park. When you walk through these doors, everybody knows your name. And here in St. Augustine, it's the newest location. Play some poker. How about the table games? And don't forget about Ace's Sports Bar and Grill. And then there's the Jacksonville location right here on Monument Road. It's the biggest poker room in the state of Florida. Maybe you'll find yourself a seat right here at the final table. Best Bet, where you can have the best of times. And that makes you always go home a winner. Try any of the 3 locations, and you can always visit bestbetjax.com.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austin Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Take a look at that injury report. This is from Wednesday, by the way. The next one won't come out until a little bit later, because when you play the West Coast teams, they'll come out a little bit more like around 7 o'clock here on the East Coast. But Robert Hainsey, limited. I got to believe he'll play. Anton Harrison did not practice. We'll see. He toughs out a lot, but we'll see. Dennis Gardeck limited. Jack Kaiser limited. Ezra Cleveland at least limited, which is a good sign he could come back and play. Missed the game last week. Jordan Lewis not practicing with the neck. I think that's a big, big deal. Hunter Long, hip knee. I actually saw him in the locker room 2 weeks ago. He had a shiner and a half on his eye, too. So he was really banged up in that Raiders game. Brian Thomas Jr. back on the practice field. That's a good thing. Brenton Strange, we'll see. I just don't think when you pull a guy off the injured reserve, he automatically plays on Sundays. I don't know where that one's going. Parker's a story we talked about. Heck, Greg Newsome even limited in this game. Wyatt Milam, he's battling still. Everybody's like, why isn't he playing? Well, is he 100%? And are you going to put him out there? And Patrick McCarry has not been 100% for a while. So, that is a long list, a laundry list, and that's what happens this time of year in the NFL. And you got to get a little bit lucky. And the Jags right now don't feel like they're getting fortuitous as they did in the first month of the year. Not that everything was lucky, but they certainly don't have a level of luck that you might want on your side in a good season. Yeah. Now, I would say this. Outside of Travis Hunter, they haven't lost anybody for the year.
Yeah.
And that is a good thing. That means if you can stay in the fight, then you can maybe make some noise when people get healthy. Like, stay in the fight. Yeah. That's probably the message here.
Well, and listen, most importantly, I get that you've had some injuries to key positions, but the most important position, the quarterback, has been healthy all year.
He's been healthy.
Which has been great. Right?
Yeah.
There's some teams out there that don't have that, luxury right now, even though it could be a benefit. And this is me slamming on Kyler Murray a little bit, but it could be a benefit. But that's the most important thing, right? And much to Hamby's chagrin, who was talking about backup quarterbacks in the preseason, we haven't had to actually, think about that conversation yet, because he has been able to stay upright. Well, not upright, but he's been able to stay healthy.
And let's be honest, the Jags have had their own bit of luck with injuries. They played Davis Mills last week. They should have beat him. Yeah. They played without Puka Nacua against the Rams. That was a big break.
That was a huge one.
Didn't beat them. They played without Joe Burrow in week 2. Couldn't beat them.
Playing the Chargers now with
they're playing with the Chargers without Joe Wall.
Offensive line.
And also, they don't have to play Kyler Murray against Arizona.
Correct.
And they also might not have to play Marvin Harrison Jr. He had appendicitis. He's missing this week's game, and we'll see if he can get back. and play, but I would imagine that's one that might take a couple of weeks if you play football. If you don't play football, you can. I've had that, where you can make it back after a few days if like you're coming to do a show.
Yeah.
But to play football, I would imagine you might have to take a couple of weeks on that one.
No, without a doubt, man. I mean, you're talking about stitches. You're talking about. I mean, you put him in a flak jacket. Like, what do you do?
Yeah, I don't know
that,
that.
Man? Like,
I'm not sure.
You can't take a hit there.
Yeah, you can't take a hit there.
Yeah. This isn't a punter or a kicker or something we're talking about.
So my point is the Jags are actually getting some of these breaks, but on a couple of occasions, specifically the Bengals and now the Houston Texans, they really didn't take advantage of it at all, and that's on them. That's on them. So we'll see how much the injuries play into it. Hey, tonight, Jaguars All Access. Devin Lloyd did come back last week. He's also coming on Jaguars All Access tonight, just down the road from here at String Sports Brewery in Springfield. It'll be at 7 o'clock on Fox 30. Also, right here on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. First time I think we've had Devin on the show. He's the Salute to Service nominee for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So we'll have Devin on the show tonight. Hopefully you can join us 7 o'clock out there at Strings. Mentioned the quarterback spot. You mentioned the health. It was an interesting conversation that got brought up, and I caught it. Somebody brought up the idea of Matthew Stafford and Trevor Lawrence in some relationship from early in the career of Matthew Stafford, right? Matthew Stafford's now in year 18 or something? I don't know what year it is. So I didn't do a major deep dive. It brought up some conversation, and I thought it was an interesting idea. Because there are a lot of struggles for Stafford, even though everybody knew he was very talented. Very talented. And there are also a lot of really good numbers from Matthew Stafford. Touchdowns and yards and everything else. So, how do you want to craft the conversation? Forget about the stats for a second. The idea that Matthew Stafford in the first 5 or 6 years lost a lot of football games, and he also hadn't really reached the potential that people had set out for him as a supreme talent. Terrific arm talent coming out, obviously top pick, all those things. And 5 or 6 years into it, people are like, where's this going? Even to this day, do you know he's only made 2 Pro Bowls in his career, which is insane. That's what I saw. Insane.
Because Hall of Famer, yeah.
I think his numbers are going to scream Hall of Fame. Did you see this? He just got to 500 in his career last week because it's such a bad start in Detroit.
Yeah.
But, Hamby, I couldn't hear you with all the noise here. Did you say 2 Pro Bowls, right?
Which is insane. I would have never guessed that. I think he is a Hall of Famer. I don't think there's really any doubt about it.
Well, and that's the conversation where if we're talking about probably a surefire Hall of Famer due to the stats, winning a Super Bowl and everything, how's a Hall of Famer only been to 2 Pro Bowls?
It's wild. I couldn't believe that.
How are you going to be in 1 Hall of Fame but only been to 2 Pro Bowls?
And it's not even like he was in the AFC where it was like Brady, Roethlisberger, Manning for the first half of his career. He's been in the NFC the entire time.
I mean, he had Rodgers. Favre, yeah.
Favre was out, I think, at that point.
No, it would have been more Rodgers. Would have been more Rodgers. Yeah. But listen, here's the other thing about that. It's very similar to maybe, it's a quarterback, so it's different, but it might be similar to how you assess like Fred Taylor. Fred Taylor didn't get a lot of the Pro Bowls and accolades. Will that hurt Matthew Stafford down the road getting into the Hall of Fame? I mean, his yards he's thrown for, you can wrap it around the world in terms of how many yards he's thrown for him. His statistics are really good. So here's I don't know. I'm not saying that's an apples to apples comp, but is it an interesting comp without even looking at the stats? If you can take your mind all the way back to Matthew Stafford before right now, before Rams Matthew Stafford, and he had a couple of good years. He got the Lions, I think, to the postseason one time, but it wasn't fun in Detroit for a lot of those early years. And I don't even think he was going through the various coaches so much in the first 4 or 5 years. That ended up happening along the way.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't have the numbers and the stats in front of me in terms of what he was producing his first couple years in Detroit. I mean, I assume they probably weren't winning a lot of games. So, I mean, I'm sure you can get the numbers. Like, it may be a fair comparison. You know, the difference is at least with Stafford, though, he had Calvin Johnson to throw to.
That's the thing. Like, people said, and that's what they said here, like, Brett, Trevor has never done this. Like, look at the touchdowns. Look at this. Look at that. And I'm like, he was throwing to Calvin Johnson. Like, he did have that. And here's what I like about this whole conversation.
Okay.
He let it fly. Yes, like, everything that we're talking about with Trevor, what Liam Cohen just said, that dude just let it fly. And to the tune of like 19, 20 interceptions, 17 interceptions, 18 interceptions, 4 out of the first 5 years, something like that. he also was not a high completion guy. He had 4 years of 60% or under in his first 5 years, I think it was.
Sure.
He was not like lighting it up, super accurate, all these things. So that's where I kind of like the conversation. Now, he was probably way better for your fantasy football team in those first 4 or 5 years than Trevor has been for your fantasy football team. I get it because of some of the touchdowns and the yards and everything else.
Yeah.
But he was like 1 year, he threw it 727 times to lead the league. Like they were totally putting it on him. And so I like the idea of this conversation where it's like, dude, you're the guy. You're talented. We're putting it on you. And we're going to take the good and the bad, and we're going to get through it, and we're going to find all those things like you said earlier in the show, because I need to know. We need to know. And we're going to put this on you. Well, they put it on Stafford back then that time. Again, do the Jags have a Megatron? No. But
I mean, see, I get it, Brent, but I'm looking at the numbers now. And, like, if you look at Stafford's numbers, he got off to a horrible start. Now, I assume, like, he didn't have the defense behind him.
Oh, they were terrible.
I get you had Kelvin Johnson, but, like, he goes 2-8, and then I think he must have got hurt because he goes 1-2. Well, the next year he comes back and goes 10-6, and he throws for 41 touchdowns and 16 interceptions.
Yep.
Now, how he didn't make the Pro Bowl, and once again, this is why I don't even take the Pro Bowl into consideration here. The guy threw for 41 touchdowns, 16 interceptions, 5,038 yards, and doesn't make the Pro Bowl?
I think he was like Player of the Year, it looks like, for AP co-Player of the Year, but he didn't make the Pro Bowl.
Well, whatever. Like, guess what? He made the Pro Bowl that year, as far as I'm concerned. So, but you look like...
So look at the awards column. Look, he's got like none of them, which is crazy.
But like, and having Calvin Johnson help, but listen, man, like, I don't know how many times he got sacked per season, but I'm sure his offense... Okay, he got sacked 36 times.
Yeah, nothing crazy.
36?
24, 36, 29.
29?
That's not crazy.
45, 44,
now the 45s are up there.
That's
but
up there,
It's
man.
up there, but I mean, you got to go north of 50 if it's like really bad.
Okay.
Usually,
Yeah.
but 45 is up there. I'm not going to. But that was like 6-7 years into his career, where things started to, again, he didn't. Look at his completion percentage. Some of this was shorter windows. 53%, 59%, 64%, 60%, 58%, 60%. Then he started to find it. It was like when he was 27 years old, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years in, to me, he started to settle into who he is. They went 7-9. He throws 67%, 4,000 yards, 32 touchdowns, 13 picks.
Yeah.
Like, that's where he starts to settle into, I think, a Matthew Stafford that people kind of now know, a 97 rating. Prior to that, his ratings, he had a 79.8, an 84, an 85 rating. I mean, again, I do, he threw with much more volume. His fantasy numbers were better for you than Trevor's. But I do think some of the mud, from a win-loss standpoint, from a turnover standpoint, from a completion percentage standpoint, can be similar.
It's similar, but I think here's the big argument, Brent. He didn't have a lot in Detroit. Yes, you had Kelvin Johnson, but a lot of the reason why I think Kelvin Johnson retired when he did was because he knew they didn't really have a lot. Right?
Yeah.
And eventually you get Ndamukong Suh and everything, your defense gets better. But I'm saying for those first couple of years, like, you see he didn't have a lot to work with, but he still put up some pretty impressive numbers.
Yeah, I mean, the year they must have had something to work with in 2011. He went 10-6 into the playoffs. It was their only trip to the playoffs.
And Suh was there by then. So,
Yeah.
like, I mean, give it credit there. But, like,
that's been.
Here's the thing, Brent. Like, look at here. Look at, and I don't know what the overall record was. He goes 2-8 his rookie year. Then he goes 1-2. I assume 2010 was probably a dumpster fire as well because he got hurt.
Yeah, probably changed. Yeah.
Well, he comes back in 2011. This would have been Suh's second year, I believe. So the defense is getting better. But he comes out his second year and he goes 10-6, which it's not bad for Detroit. I'm sure Detroit took it.
That was great.
But look at his numbers.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, that part parallels Trevor a
41
little bit.
touchdowns and 16 interceptions.
Trevor had his best year in his third year in the league.
Sure.
Wait a minute. No, that's not right. His second year in the league. And they went to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And so there's that early bump. And, again, this is not I don't want to make this an apples to. I'm not telling you he's Stafford. I'm just telling you they stuck through the mud and not the overall great. Like, people were not praising Stafford left and right back at that time.
Sure.
They were kind of wondering, who is he? Is he the guy that threw 41 touchdowns and 16 picks? Or is he a guy that throws 58% of his passes and has a rating of an 84, which is very average? even with all the talent.
And I think a good question is, what was his contract then when he was signed?
I was going to look that up, actually.
Was he a top 5 paid quarterback? Because eventually it seemed like Detroit, was paying him top dollar money. They weren't winning football games, so they had to go with the Jared Goff route, maybe to get a little off the books, get a couple more, a little more draft capital, and look what happened with that.
Yeah, well, I mean, now you got to remember, this mines will be 1960 when you're talking about bread prices compared to now.
I know,
because the quarterback salaries have escalated so much.
Yeah, but I think it's all relative. Like, if he was one of the highest paid quarterbacks when he was with the Lions, you can say Trevor's one of the highest paid quarterbacks right now with the Jaguars.
So he got in 2009 to 15. Hey, wasn't he like the last one? I'm pretty sure he was the last player on the huge mega deals for the rookie draft picks.
Okay.
And so they got to keep him on that draft 2009 to 2015. He was making $12 million a year.
Okay.
That was a big, and then they kind of slotted after him. I think he was the last one. And then in 2013, they gave him a 3-year, $53 million deal. I don't know where that relates to everybody else.
Okay.
But at $17 million a year, it's probably
rookie extension. It says. I don't know.
Yeah, that was his second contract. Like Trevor's second contract is $55 million a year.
Gotcha. Yeah,
this is 17.
Okay.
But I don't know relative what that is. It's hard to tell right here, right?
And
That'd actually be cool if they did that.
And then he got paid again.
And then he got paid again in 17.
And that was what, 5 years?
Now $27 million.
5 years, $135 million.
Yeah, I can give you a little bit of a comp there because remember Bortles did his contract in like 2018, and Bortles was making like $28 million a year.
Okay.
So this was a bigger deal. This was 5 years for 135, that was at least in the neighborhood.
Okay, but can we say here, this 5 years, 135 at that time in 2017, was he probably a top 5 highest paid quarterback or not?
I would say, yeah.
Okay, once again, I get the market's changed.
I think he's top 5 all these times.
Okay, so it's comparable with Trevor. It's like, okay, well, you stuck with him through the mud in Detroit, but were you winning football games when he was there with that contract? No, you bring in Jared Goff, you get more capital. And now look what Detroit did. Not saying, once again, this wasn't all Matthew Stafford's fault.
It's just unbelievable. He had 2 in his first, in his Detroit career, right? That way, all the way to age 32. He had 9-7 seasons. He had an 11-5, and he had a 10-6. He had 4 winning seasons, going all the way back to 2009, which would have been over a decade. So over a decade, he had 4 winning seasons. And I don't even know if they made the playoffs in that 9-7 year or not. I can't remember. But again, I thought it was an interesting deal. I thought the idea was you've got a supremely talented quarterback that everybody will say is talented, who's trying to figure it out, and there's some good, some bad. There's excuses. Some people don't want to do excuses, but I think Stafford had some too in trying to get through that. And they've shown some signs. The easiest thing to compare to Stafford's 41 touchdown year is 2022 for Trevor, where he had that back end. Not a whole year, but he had a back end and really a bridge from the end of 22 to the early 23, which was like his best sample of football that he's ever played. And now the question is, can he get back there? And can he be? Well, you wouldn't even think twice about this kind of conversation if you just watched Matthew Stafford over the last 5, 6, 7 years.
Correct.
You'd be like, Brent, what the hell are you talking about? You really have to deep dive back into that. And I think that's for a lot of people. I think I covered Tom Brady early on in his career. And then obviously we know what Tom Brady did. But what people don't really realize about Tom Brady is he wasn't winning football games by himself in 2002 and 3 and 4 and 5. It was set up to run the football, play defense, him almost to game manage, and then he would be really clutch in the appropriate times. Well, he evolved by year 5, 6, 7, whatever that was, to go have the Randy Moss type of years. And then, okay, now I'm like the best player in the game. I'll throw it 50 times. I'm going to control the game. And that's where it took him the rest of his career. So these guys don't start from there. Now, Mahomes did. Mahomes started from there. Justin Herbert started with, I think, a lot of good stuff statistically, fantasy football-wise. He's still trying to figure out how do you win in the postseason, but he started with really good numbers, and he's proved to be a really good numbers guy from a box score standpoint. Josh Allen, not a good start, but he's flipped it into where he is. So I think some of these guys have skewed in terms of Lamar Jackson, his success right away, Patrick Mahomes, his success right away, even Justin Herbert's of the world, even without the wins. I think they've skewed the barometer. But I do think if you go back to some of the talented quarterbacks, it wasn't always right off the rip. there was an evolution of this, the evolution that we're currently seeing with the Baker Mayfields of the world. Once you get to year 7 or 8, or 6, 7, Sam Darnold, those kind of guys that we're seeing, oh, wow, they came out of the mud.
Yep.
And Sam Darnold's playing unbelievable football, really, for the better part of 2 years.
For sure.
So that's been my whole thing right now with Trevor, too, and I think they have no choice. They signed him. He is going to get his 6th, 7th year to his 8th year. Yep. Maybe we'll see about 8, but he's definitely going to get to 6 and 7, where these guys really settled their world down and started to find their groove in the NFL of consistent success. I think that's what you got to hope for right now with Trevor Lawrence, that ends up happening. And the one common denominator is had to get through mud, and he also is supremely talented.
Yeah.
And nobody would deny that.
No, without a doubt. And you know what? And once again, I don't want to even speak it into existence, but obviously there is a narrative around, well, James Gladstone didn't draft him. It's not Liam Cohen's guy. So what happens if they try to go, okay, well, you know what? Let's try to get some capital for him and start anew. Well, the benefit you had with Matthew Stafford at that time was he was playing at a pretty high level. Yeah. He was still one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, despite what the roster looked like. Trevor's not on that level right now.
He's not there. No.
So, to me, it's not even comparable. Like, well, look at, they got rid of Jared Goff in Los Angeles. Well, okay, but, I think there was still a need a little bit of Jared Goff because he had won to a Super Bowl. He was kind of, quote-unquote, the game manager, but there was some intrigue there. With all due respect, I don't think this team is just clamoring right now for Trevor Lawrence.
No, but I do think I think if you put Trevor Lawrence on the Seattle Seahawks.
I agree. No, listen.
And the San Francisco 49ers.
Sure.
They're happy as hell.
No, without a doubt. But realistically, Brent, is a team going to try to give up 2 or 3 first-round picks to Trevor Lawrence, or are they going to try to take their first-round picks and try to go in the draft and find their quarterback?
But let me ask you this. What was Detroit trying to do when they got Goff? What did you think they were trying to do?
Detroit was trying to rebuild. Yeah, they were trying to get Stafford off the books.
Yep.
They were trying to start anew because they knew right now with what Stafford was making, they didn't have the salary cap in place to try to go to find players to make a playoff run. You're in a very hard division. You're on the bottom of it. Stafford was a great player, but you couldn't make it work.
By the way, I just wanted to go back and look real quick for the blockbuster trade. Matthew Stafford to the Rams for Jared Goff, a 2021 third-round pick and 2 future first-round picks. So it was.
Oh yeah,
they got the 2 future first-round picks in that deal too.
Of course,
and that was Stafford they were unloading. So it was really the Rams that had to unload, including unloading Goff.
No, for sure. But let's be honest. If you're trading away, once again, I feel like your franchise quarterback in Matthew Stafford, because Jared Goff was the game manager at the time, you're also unloading as well. You aren't playing for the present, you're playing for the future.
Yeah,
nobody knew.
The Stafford move was to get out of his money.
Of course, even with Jared Goff, and Dan Campbell said it, said, we're going to see, Dan Campbell challenged Jared Goff and it worked out, but I feel like a lot of people in Detroit didn't expect Jared Goff to get a new contract and be maybe a top 6-7 quarterback.
Yeah. There you go.
I had to do it too. Everyone's doing it here.
There you go. Listen, I have not ruled that out. I think if you fast forward 3 years down the road, could you see Trevor Lawrence in another place and you swap a quarterback in a similar type of situation at some point? I wouldn't rule that out.
But do you see a team trying to get 2 first-round picks to Trevor Lawrence right now? Maybe.
No, you're not on that end. You're on the Goff end, potentially. If they were to make a move like that, they'd probably be on the Goff end.
But I just
where they're the ones giving up to go get a premium quarterback. Like maybe they go get, give me somebody. Give me, I'll just say for the sake of argument, or Lamar Jackson.
Yeah,
they go get Lamar Jackson because he's 30 years old, and they're going to give that up.
But Brent, Trevor's making more Matthew Stafford money than he is Jared Goff money. That's my point. You're invested right now with Trevor Lawrence being your franchise quarterback, just like Detroit was invested with Matthew Stafford being their quarterback. That's what the money said.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Where I don't look at it as the Jaguars being more of the Rams they have to offload. I look at the Jaguars being more of the Lions thinking, okay, well, we got this high-priced quarterback. Does anybody want him?
Yeah, well, it's also a tough situation because I think Goff was on his rookie deal, right? So they didn't have to get him early. If you don't have that guy in the rookie deal, that's where it's not apples to apples anymore.
Yeah.
And also because how many quarterbacks are getting paid? There's so many getting paid.
I know. Yeah.
So anyway, I just thought it was an interesting conversation. And if you're a believer in Trevor Lawrence, I think there's still room for belief is the point. 5 years in, it hasn't been as good as anybody wants it. But I also think there's a lot more football. I mean, you can play 15, 18 years in the NFL now, and you find it. And he's 25 years old. I don't think the Jags, and I really don't think anybody else right now, would give up on Trevor Lawrence. Like, I really don't. I don't think it's that. They might be giving up on a guy like Kyler Murray. We'll find out. Yeah, he might be playing baseball in 18 months. Like, you don't know.
If he plays baseball, they don't they don't owe him anything, right? Like, if he chooses,
I don't know. I don't know that deal. I haven't played baseball in years. I was just kidding. I'm not sure.
I don't know. Hey, who knows, man?
Maybe he's been taking swings. Who knows?
Yeah.
We'll take a break. Brenton Austin Show, Action Sports Jax 24/7 Network. Come back, put a bow on the show from the Jacksonville Icemen. They lead 4-2. 19 minutes to go in this game, and we've got Club 904, by the way, on the next at 1 o'clock. Then Fleet and Footy coming up at 2 o'clock here on the network. A special edition of Scrap House at 3 o'clock if you missed it last night. And still more to come here on the network the entire day here on a Thursday with the Brenton Austin Show live from VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. When you hear that, you think Bono's Pit Barbecue, a staple in Northeast Florida now for 75 years. A place that feels like home with friendly service. A meeting place for friends, family, or business occasions. On the menu, the corn nuggets are a favorite in our house, but there's something for everyone. Sandwiches, platters, salads, sides, desserts, and family feasts. You see Bono's all over the place in Northeast Florida. You know, there are almost 20 locations in the Jacksonville area now, so stop on by, sit down, and dine in with Bono's. You can also take it to go. There are drive-thrus in many of the locations, and they have delivery options too. Just download the Bono's app to make things easy. I signed up for the loyalty program, and you can too, to get special offers. If Jacksonville is home, few things feel more Jacksonville than Bono's Pit Barbecue. Celebrate 75 years and many more to come. Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
People helping people. It's at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From the start in 1954 to today, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. I had a chance to see that commitment firsthand as Alive partnered with our Action Sports Jax 24/7 team to bring you Armada men's and women's soccer broadcasts. Inside the 18, it is a shot, and it's a goal! Chloe Chivers! And that connection to the community continues with Alive Credit Union's support of the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of all first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing is taking their 75-plus years of expertise and expanding to CGC Home Services. Water treatment and plumbing is still a big part of what they do, and now they can do even more for you. Home services like kitchen and bathroom remodeling, showers, sinks, faucets, toilet repair, backflow testing, and the list keeps going. Find all they can do at cgchomeservices.com or give them a call, 904-298-7052. It's a new look and a new name with the same expertise. They've been serving homes like yours since 1946. CGC Home Services, right here in Jacksonville off St. John's Bluff Road, 904-298-7052. And visit cgchomeservices.com. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
We've been telling you about the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network for over a year now. How to find it, what to see. Simply put, it's TV online. Local sports content all day, every day. Just like this.
Did you always want to make history? Like, think that big, or just say, hey, I want to play in the NFL?
I always say I want to play in the NFL.
That's it. Back to our left side, takes a shot, and into the back of the net.
Oh, what a pass.
Oh, my goodness.
What a pass.
And they have been. We've been talking. We've been articulating.
I did have a sense that they wanted to be bold, that they wanted to make a splash.
It's content you won't find on TV. Find it on actionsportsjax.com and just sit back and watch local sports all day on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Grab some friends and go to a restaurant or head out for a drink and some conversation. Watch your favorite team play on the big screen. Or how about play some games? You can do all of that in one night at Best Bet. Each location has a different vibe, its own personality, like here at the original Best Bet in Orange Park. When you walk through these doors, everybody knows your name. And here in St. Augustine, it's the newest location. Play some poker. How about the table games? And don't forget about Ace's Sports Bar and Grill. And then there's the Jacksonville location right here on Monument Road. It's the biggest poker room in the state of Florida. Maybe you'll find yourself a seat right here at the final table. Best Bet, where you can have the best of times. And that makes you always go home a winner. Try any of the 3 locations, and you can always visit bestbetjax.com.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austin Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
What do we got there? A little Kirby Smart and Steve Sarkisian. This is Hamby. He just wants us to talk college football.
Hey, man.
No Stadium Pulse tomorrow. Hamby is retired.
Okay.
You know, there were so many compliments from Kirby Smart to Sarkisian I saw.
Of course. Every time.
And these guys are almost, like, I feel like, in a sense, is the coaching fraternity to buddy-buddy.
Yeah, I mean, hey, can we bring the picture back real quick? Because, like, obviously, you know, he's talking to Sarkisian and everything. I mean, did Kirby Smart go to the barber and say, give me the, what is it, Mark Davis?
Yeah, Mark Davis.
Hey,
Al Davis?
Can you confirm? No, isn't Mark Davis the guy, the owner with the crazy hair?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going Al Davis, owner of the Raiders.
I wonder if
he's passed. Mark Davis is now the owner of the Raiders.
Mark Davis is the owner of the Raiders. Meanwhile, Sarkisian's going with the old mustard yellow Jacks jerseys. And he's probably got himself.
I'm not mad at the color, Brent, honestly.
Got himself a little flat vanilla, white with vanilla that I would get at Starbucks.
GQ right there, man. I'm not mad at Sarkisian. By the way, he's getting a lot of sun, I guess, in Austin. No, Andy, if we can get a side-by-side of Mark Davis and then Kirby Smart and that hair, I think you'll see what I'm talking. Hamby, set it up, please.
I saw the dude in person 5 feet away in Vegas. It ain't that.
I think you'll be surprised. I think Duval Charter's out of here, man. Might have to get back a little early and have testing or something.
Yes, left.
Ronan's gone, I guess.
We got 14:42 and counting to go. Oh, no, it's 4-3.
Ooh.
Listen, we just had a disaster of a collapse on Sunday in Houston.
Here's what's
we
going to happen.
Can't do this again in Jacksonville.
Hamby, I need you to go in right now and scrub all the audio from the first period, from the first 10 minutes of the show, because I am not taking a Dan Hicken freezing cold takes here from all my things that I was talking about the Orlando Solar Bears. Great team, though, Brett. Great team, the Orlando Solar. Very competitive. I've always said it. Good goaltending.
By the way, speaking of, I want to ask you guys for a little advice. We have a chance, if we want, to get Barry Manilow on the show next week.
No way.
Yeah, I think. I don't know if the window has passed to request, but he's coming to town. Like, I thought about getting Manilow on so he could hear my song.
I mean, you almost got to, right? just to see what is written. What?
I don't think I want to. If you were Barry Manilow and you heard somebody sing like that in that song, would you be like, oh, my gosh?
I mean,
what a way to ruin a song.
If he has any sense of humor, he'll think it's funny.
To see what my swing was like.
True. But even Jim knows his swing isn't the prettiest.
Hey, man. Brett, I think if you have an opportunity to get him on the show, and once again, I won't do a lot of homework to this. It's going to be more, I think, of your speed in terms of the interview. But you got to get him on just to play him the song. Come on now.
I don't know. Maybe. We'll look at it. We'll look into it.
It's Barry, man. I mean, come on. Don't act like it's like, I don't know, like Garth Brooks that you're singing in front of. Like, it's Barry Manilow. It's okay.
I can handle it. All right. By the way, Daniel Kilkenny, how did you know I interviewed Herbert yesterday? Patrick Herbert, that is.
That's good.
And maybe that's playing somewhere else. I don't know. Any chance he plays this week? I don't think he's playing. I don't think he's going to play.
He's a big fan of these tight ends. Herbert and Aiken, Morris.
Yeah. By the way, Herbert did not love the attention of my brother or playing against my brother.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm sure, family Thanksgiving and everything, I'm sure one gets probably a little more attention than the other.
Yeah, a little bit.
One's bringing, what's her name? Breer, Madison Breer.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
they live different lives.
One's the starting quarterback, one's all over GQ magazine.
How does that go in a family? That's got to be hard, I think.
It's got to be a rough one, right?
It's got to be pretty tough.
Yeah.
It's the third time this year that the Jags have had brothers play against each other. And again, Patrick Herbert's not going to be active, most likely to play.
Yeah.
But Etienne and Etienne.
Yep.
And Ty Hamilton. I think it was the Bengals play with Devon Hamilton's brother.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I think it was the Bengals, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, obviously, there's a difference there, too, in terms of who's done what in the league. So, isn't that wild that three sets of brothers? And, I mean, basically, genes matter is what I'm getting at.
Well, I guess so, but maybe at the same time, Brent, because we saw what Travis Etienne did against his brother and everything.
Wasn't bad.
I mean, do you elevate Herbert just for this game? I mean, I get Brenton Strange might be coming back, but do you elevate Herbert and say, hey, man,
let's see what you got.
Around Christmas time, the conversation is going to be different.
That would be great. Nice save by the Iceman goalie, who, by the way, is Larry Bird's number 33, Scott Ratzlaff. Who has had a nice start to the year. Remember, Alex Reed was raving about the Iceman goalies.
Yeah.
13-10 to go. We got a lot of game to go. This one was 4-1 in the first 11 minutes in favor of the Iceman.
Yeah.
And now it's 4-3.
Oh, the kids love Cotton Eye Joe, Brent. This is from my childhood. It's good to see some staples are still around,
It is. I always find that interesting at games like the
Jock Jams, man.
Yeah, the Jock Jam still plays well.
Oh, yeah. It always holds up.
What was Jock Jams, early 90s?
That was early 90s, yeah. I mean, it was a staple in my hockey, skating experience when they played it on the air horns or whatever. They always play the Jock Jams Mega Mix.
One quick thought on the Jags before we get ready to go and hand off to me, O'Brien, Club 904. Which you can watch at 1 o'clock. And then 2 o'clock, we got Fleet and Footy with Stuart Weber and Louis Lorendi on the horizon as new ownership takes over. Now, that story a couple weeks old for the Jacksonville Armada. But get the latest in soccer coming up at 2 o'clock here on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network, followed by Scrap House, Austen Lane, and Casey Kurtz from yesterday. Full lineup here today, as always, on the network. Then we get into some high school football tomorrow, including our Whataburger Game of the Week. It's going to be Oakleaf and Nice at 7:30, and then we'll do our Farrah Friday Night Zone Blitz 8 to 10. So more on that tomorrow. We'll also have our spreads and our picks and a little bit of everything tomorrow. Talk a little more college football going into the weekend as well. But yesterday, Liam Cohen did talk about Travis Hunter, and I thought it was interesting. This is where Cohen, I think, is fascinating to me. He also acknowledged, he's heard the talk already about whether he should be a two-way player. He brought it up. He's like, I know people are talking about two-way player or not. Is he going to be that in the future? But it's way too premature. And by the way, I believe that. If I'm Liam Cohen, I was telling this to the guys in the media room yesterday. If I'm Liam Cohen, we're 5-4. With all due respect to Travis Hunter, I wish he was here. I hope he gets. Now we know what it is. He goes into rehab. We'll love having him around. But I'm not thinking about next September when it comes to Travis Hunter at all. We got enough of our own problems right now, so he'll address it later. They'll figure it out in the offseason. But I don't think we need to know also what the Jags are going to do with Travis Hunter right now.
Well, no, we don't need to know, but I think you could put some of the national media stuff to bed if you were to come out and say, hey, listen, yes, he got hurt. It was a non-contact injury. It was a freak thing. These things happen in the NFL. But going forward, we still envision him playing both sides of the ball. I feel like you say that, and that puts a lot of the whole narrative of, should he play on one side? Because this is on Liam Cohen now, right? When the head coach comes out and sets expectations, whether you like it or not, you have to respect it because that's what the head coach wants.
Yeah.
I feel like you kind of left it a little open-ended, but
but I guess my point of that is, and maybe he could have said this. It's listen, guys, we're in the middle of the season. I haven't really thought enough about it. I don't want to put something out there to and say this is what we're doing. when we really haven't had deep discussions on that with the player or even internally. And I think he kind of referenced that. He's like, listen, we'll give, at the end of the year, we'll have more conversations like that. So, and I don't blame him, because I wasn't planning on Travis Hunter if he was coming back until like right around Christmas time. Like, I thought, in my mind, Denver was like the earliest game that we would see him back. And so, to be honest with you, like, I had put that story aside even in my own head. Not to say that's what Cohen should do, but he's got so much to worry about with getting his football team a W. How do you bounce back from a Houston debacle? And so I'm not surprised. Yes, we're going to have the conversations. It's going to be an off-season conversation. And quite frankly, I'm not sure I don't think they'll make the mandate even in January. And we might not even hear from Travis Hunter again for the next, 7 months.
No, for sure. But I think, Brent, like, as soon as the last game's done for the Jaguars, whether it's going to be in the postseason or not, as soon as the last game's done, I think the first conversation is going to be, okay, what about Travis Hunter now? Now what? Is he playing on both sides? Is he playing one side? Like, that's where it's going to go, because that's what he's earned. Like, you gave up how much to get him. You gave him how much draft capital gave him. You gave the press conference. He's going to change the game. Like, you hyped him up, right? So he's going to be talked about, whether it's in Jacksonville, New York. Like, this is one of the most, like, popular figures in the NFL right now. So as soon as that season's done, that's going to be the first topic of what's the plan with Travis Hunter. So you may have bought yourself some time, but the story's going nowhere.
Yeah, and you better have a plan, right? You're going to have a plan, and we think they will. By the way, Parker Washington returned to practice today, so a good news story there. We'll hear from Parker Washington tomorrow. We'll play that interview for you, and it's pretty fascinating a little bit, some of the things going on with Parker. I really enjoyed the interview with him, so we'll have that just part of the show tomorrow. We'll be back in studio. Jacksonville Icemen lead 4-3. We'll see if they hold on. We'll tell you about it tonight on Action Sports Jacks on the TV side, CBS 47 and Fox 30. Don't forget Devin Lloyd tonight on Jaguars All Access. That is at 7 o'clock at String Sports Brewery in Springfield. Hope everybody has a good rest of their Thursday. We'll finish up the weekend style. We've got a football game tonight. Patriots and Jets. Patriots probably win, right?
I'll lean so.
Take them in your survivor pool, folks. Patriots will probably win in Foxborough.
Say that, Brent.
Have a good rest of your day. Welcome inside the Armor Guard exterior and gutter helmet showroom. There's a lot going on, like glass exteriors, replacement windows, and down there we have the retractable screens and awnings, plus hurricane protection. Let's talk more about those gutters, and to do that, we bring in Kevin. He's the owner, he's the expert. Why Gutter Helmet?
Well, Gutter Helmet's truly the only maintenance-free product. It lets the trash and debris go on the ground, the water wraps around and goes inside. Unlike filters, they sit on top of the gutters, and the trash and debris build up on top of filters, which requires maintenance. With Gutter Helmet, we're going to keep you off the ladder, the most dangerous thing in your garage. With Gutter Helmet, you'll never clean your gutters again. So get off the ladder and put on the helmet. Gutter Helmet.
Get a free estimate at gutterhelmetofnorthflorida.com. You can also call 904-762-7779 or visit the showroom on St. John's Bluff Road in Jacksonville.
Empower a future, inspire a dream. It's a bold but simple mission for the Jacksonville Police Athletic League known as Jax PAL. Help the next generation of kids in Jacksonville shape a brighter future. Their after-school programs, teenage leadership programs. There's community outreach.
It's been just an awesome opportunity to be out here with my colleagues and do something good for the community. It's really been an interesting opportunity to just see everybody work together in a way that we don't normally in the office.
And there's sports. There are also ways you can help the next generation with a donation of any kind. Just visit jaxpal.org to get more information. Empower a future, inspire a dream with Jax PAL.
It's one of the hot spots in the area.
Welcome you to String Sports Brewery out at the beach. Big crowd on hand tonight. The fans are here.
And now, the newest hot spot at the beach is open. String Sports Brewery in Jax Beach has opened its doors with rave reviews.
We're going to be fans forever.
Cozy up to the bar. Grab a seat in the sports-themed restaurant. or grab a seat outside and feel that breeze coming off the beach as the weather warms. Just like the original location in Springfield, try the popular beer menu and come for lunch or dinner too, because the food is fantastic.
We got a special guest in the house. He's happy. He's feeling good. He's Trayvon Walker.
It's where we hosted Jags Report Live in the football season, and the String Sports Brewery staff can't wait to host you. Hey, welcome back here to String Sports Brewery. And if you haven't checked out the new location in Jax Beach, you got to do it. String Sports Brewery, now with 2 locations in Springfield and now open in Jax Beach on Penman Road.
There's a saying in sports, you can't win them all, but you can win a lot with good folks on your team. Like that one painter, First Coast. It's tough to beat the sun in Florida, so your home fades. It's tough to beat that HOA when they come calling. Beat the sun, beat the HOA with that one painter, First Coast. And it's a good time to do it. Less rain to work around, and painting in mild temperatures is perfect. After all, the paint bonds to the surface so much better. Give that one painter First Coast a call at 904